G'day footy fans and welcome to the senior school here at Sacred Heart College for round 12 of the Adelaide Footy League Division 1 season. Today's match pits two clubs that are right in the premiership mix. One, newly promoted, they look right at home here in the top tier. The others, well, they're the defending champs, currently on an 8-game winning streak. Also in red hot form are great live stream sponsors, the Banner Crew, 9 News, Buddy Bet, Sportal, Roll the Dice Racing, Archie Sandals, Programs to Fit, Dartfish, Sports Interactive and the Moseley Bar and Kitchen. Coming up is Sacred Heart Old Collegians against the defending premiers Port District, who will increase their chance at a critical double chance. Thanks to Filming Footy, this is the Adelaide Footy League. Big day on and off the field. Ladies' Day here at Sacred Heart College. TJ Focus, we'll come back to that in just a sec. Phil Hurd and Tommy Javor. Let's talk about on the field first. Sacred Heart in Div 1, they've been consistently competitive, but a big challenge today.
What I want to allude to is they've been in the conversation. We're talking about the big four and they're in the conversation. Will today change the dialogue? Today, I see them for the first time at Sacred Heart against the reigning premier. We'll find out just how good they are.
Well, District reigning premier started a bit slow, but 8-game winning streak. We saw their demolition of Prince Alfred. Are they the early favourites at this point?
For the flag, are we asking, or for the day? Flag, no, PAC be my flag favourites. Having seen them 3 or 4 times, they impress me in everything they do.
Alrighty, off the field, Ladies' Day, excited about that, TJ?
Well, I'm always excited for Ladies' Day, and they're excited by me. Could have parked right by the entrance, don't egg my car. I saw for the first time 3 generations of fake tan walk through the gate. It was beautiful. The girls are done up to the nines, they look the part, and hopefully the boys can have a good game for them.
More insightful analysis like that coming your way. Of course, we do have the Buddy Bet. We do gamble responsibly. We're going to keep this one simple. Head to head, who's going to win?
They often say the wolf climbing the hill is hungrier than the wolf sitting at the top. I'm going to go right against that philosophy. I'm going to stick with Port District. They're on an 8-game winning streak and they look the goods to me.
I'll just be different. Let's go Sacred Heart. We'll be back with more footy after the break.
And Crone takes the lead in the Coolmore. Crone draws clean out from Mizzy. It's a Queensland victory. And a big payday for his owners. English Millennium in a romp.
But Ayrton the class, and Ayrton won the Victoria Handicap.
But Mahuda goes all the way. Where again, Mahuda?
Taliqua, too classy for them. The Blue Star flashing beats the ball. A Blue Star gets up the win.
But it's all Globe, 100 metres to go. It's 6 lengths in front. This is an outstanding performance again. And Globe eased down, won the King's Coronation Cup in a canter.
Media Centre, the most popular place on the oval right now because a rain shower has just arrived. Phil Hurden with Tommy Javor. TJ, this we're set for a fantastic trip game coming up between us, of which I think both of these two teams are.
Yeah, as I said in the pre-match, mate, Sacred Heart, haven't seen them. We've heard positive things from our co-commentators. I need to see it with my own eyes, as was St. Thomas's nature back in biblical era.
Show me the nails.
Yes. I wasn't going to go that deep into it, but that is exactly where I'm going, mate. And I live by that one. So, yeah, I want to see Sacred Heart firsthand. I worry about... so the coach is playing, which is, of course... Carlotto, but Kakuro out. Could be a loss. And
he was massive. The only time I've seen Sacred Heart was at Brighton. We had a buddy bet going that he'd kick 4 goals for the game. He had 3 in the first 15 minutes. So that was my buddy bet shot pretty early. So let's have a look at the graphics of why this game is so important, why we're excited by it, where these two teams plays. Prince Alfred, well, you saw them last week draw with Goodwood. I'd love to chat to you about that. We may not have the time.
Polar opposite conditions, mate.
Polar opposite. Glenunga second spot. Then we've got third versus fourth. Port District, Sacred Heart. Sacred Heart's percentage is pretty good. Look, if they win, they'll leap into third. Other results, who knows, could even be in second place tonight.
No, they won't be, because Glenunga won't lose to Old Ignatians.
That is true.
Under any circumstances.
Well, they might field a player they forgot to register.
If they're really
the only way.
Nathan Grimer will commit homicide on 9 players. So...
So you can see the importance of this game. Port District, now they started 1 and 2. They won their last 8, pretty good. But let's have a look at Sacred Heart's season, which I'm going to call, they've been consistently competitive.
Yep.
Even the games that they've lost really have been by narrow margins.
Got Liam on the roof doing his best work. He's rocking this van.
Yep.
Yeah, of course, they did lose in round 1, Phil.
Well, there
you go.
Well done. You managed to do it, not me. Prince Alfred 13 points, Glenunga 15 points. So 15 points is their biggest loss. Couple of big wins in there. They have, when given the opportunity, Old Iggy's, Broadview, Teacher Gully, they've smashed some sides and have been consistent in recent weeks.
What stands out for me is beat Port Districts when Port probably at their lowest point, 1 and 2, but beat them by 43 points. That's all you can do. Maybe they match up well.
That was the last team that beat Port District. Yes. Since then they've won every game.
And the 2 losses, 1 and 2 by 2 goals in low-scoring affairs.
Yeah, against the top ranks. I think Sacred Heart are right in it. In terms of their team today, you did make mention of one change of consequence, which is Kakuro out. Also Brandon Smith, Dominic Vizari. Coming in, Tommy McDermott and Doug Proud.
Yep, hard for me not to mention this from the start, mate. Obviously, I was ex-Flanell, as you know, when you're at the Eagles. 5 of these boys have come through the Javor Footy Factory. That's what we call it. The undefeated under-13s at the Bays, and Blind Freddie could have coached that team undefeated, but some great quality in there. Names like Lovelock, McAuliffe, Dewhurst, Glorious, and just had a wee next to Charlie Hilliard, and we caught up, so it was nice. Didn't shake hands, though.
Is there an oval league that you have not had some in?
Possibly.
Bring some on. You'll tell us when we go to one.
Yeah.
Switching over to Port District. Their season 1 and 2, there was a shock loss to Broadview, and then, look at that, just announced we're here in Division 1 when they went up to Largs and won by 43 points. But since then, we saw them the week after. Absolutely pressure and hassle Prince Alfred off the ball and out of the contest. Close against Brighton, but still a winner.
Yeah, decent, Phil. I'm just having some trouble with my headphones, so I hope everyone can hear me. Can you hear me still, Hugo? Yep, there we go. I'm back on. I've seen them a couple of times, mate, and they look like just about the complete package to me. They've added Shepherd up forward to go with the man they call Fat Man Batman, James Batty. The boys just told me that one. Heffernan floating around up there. Of course, their man that needs no introduction, Sam Gray. It's a good forward line.
And just that last note on there, next week, Prince Alfred, Old Collegian. So it's a really big fortnight for Port District. Playing 2 of the 3 teams we think are in the mix. Their team selections for this week, just 2 changes. Zach Hawkins, he come in for Broden Hawkins and Matthew Weistra. 2 veteran, 2 premiership players back in the squad.
Yeah, as I said, it's a strong-looking squad. They gel well together. They're completely connected and they understand each other's games. Not sure they'll be easy today. And with the rain coming down, it comes back to that Port District slog. I think perhaps even favours Port District.
39-point winners in the B, still looking for a score in the C's. Dustin?
I've got the C grade. I've got the score in the C's. Thomas Yates led the C grade to an inspirational 3-goal win over Port District. C grade boys, and they had plenty of banter, giving me plenty of nicknames and plenty to tell me about their
I was about to say, you couldn't write fast. You good stuff. Yeah. Let's hope we get to use it sometime this afternoon. The runs come in. That's we talk about the ground conditions.
Yep.
Pity about the rain, but outside of maybe Adelaide Oval, I don't think a footy ground in better condition than what we're seeing out here.
The ground conditions near perfect, mate. Absolutely near perfect. There's no mud, which is. I was at Goodwood last week, and it was disgusting condition place. Don't get me wrong.
It's a wonderful.
But, I mean, see the pictures now that the viewers can see. It's like a billiard deck, a billiard table. It's beautiful. So it's not we're expecting some rain. You expect good quality ball movement from these two teams.
You still put the long things at the bottom of your feet.
Sprigs. You're not allowed to anymore.
Okay. So does this turn this type of oval into a bit of an ice skating rink with the rain?
I like to think that green men can keep their feet. I was always as a coach. It's one of the simplest things you can do to get things right. Stay in the contest, keep your feet. These players and ballers, all of this Port District team again. Sacred achieving a little bit. We're going to find out today.
Well, it is in many ways a new squad. I've got 7 players. Didn't play for them last year. For Port District, I've got just the one in Kenneth Carpenty. All the others were part of the club in some form last year. But I always think with the rise of Division 2 teams that get promoted, the 2 teams, one of them usually goes down the very next year. They're not surviving, they're thriving.
Yeah, I found their faux shizzle about halfway through round 2. They went on a bit of a tear and were really consistent and just playing grinding footy all year, and ended up with a double chance sneaking in round 18. So
they did a big win over Prince Alfred and forced Princes to come to the grand final the hard way, which probably meant they were a little bit worn out by the time they faced this Port District side, who are the defending champs, 8-game winning streak. Are looking the goods at the moment ahead of that big clash next week, which we will be at. That will be up at our large reserves. One goes to the other.
Shocks. 3 of the top 4 of
correct.
This
and Glenunga then. Well, then we'll do a run of Glenunga games, and it'll be finals before
come towards
we know
finals. We'll have some really exciting games where relegation and that 5th spot will be on the line as well. So it's panning out to be a really good year as a commentator, and Ramsey just go past us. Josh Ramsey.
Chris Rash, Paul Smitheram are the field umpires. Guido Porcaro. I'll do that again. Guido Porcaro and Luke Simpson. Jason Collard and James Turner are the goals. Coin toss probably a few minutes away.
Yep.
The other Division 1 games, a chance for us to talk to them a little bit of depth.
Why don't you ask the Division 1 expert, my friend?
I go last week because I wasn't here to.
Very, very. I must have got 4 marks for you.
Saints to beat Brighton.
Nah, got 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5.
3.5.
3.5, of course.
No one did the draw.
Well, okay, let's talk about Princes and Goodwood for a sec, because Princes are the other team that both these two are looking at. An anomaly, a Goodwood a sneaky finals chance? Was it the conditions? The from Princes in those conditions? What did you put to?
Really, Donaldson, they played a very, I can probably say now, Lou Whitelock, who's former captain in Premiership. They went by what they did the round. They were outplayed. Happens. It's going to be a contested, tough type of day. And then the rains came that morning and all night, and the ground was just chopped up, and they forced their hand really, and they just played and they took their chances. So yeah, they did well in those conditions. They'll compete with anyone. They're not going to get those conditions too often, though.
Have you ever called a draw before?
The last time I was at Goodwood, it was Goodwood and Port Districts for another network, and it was a draw.
It was a draw.
2 times I've been at Goodwood, 2 draws.
Well, just be glad you weren't doing all the multiple prizes, because how do you do that in a draw? You'd have to have some mingling and...
I only had the TJ Archie songs to give out, and I was won by Andrew Bradley.
Fair enough. Well, we've got those again today. We've got the New Balance voucher for the best on ground, also with the iconic Dartfish beanie. Good to see the umpires have made their way out. Thought they were just enjoying the very modern facilities here.
Have a look at the Sacred Heart coach just doing his best work early. Bit of a handshake. I'll be up forward today, boys, if you need me. And it's remiss of me not to mention goal umpire Jason Collard. He is now self-proclaimed the best goal umpire in the Adelaide Footy League.
Okay.
He's doing the Div 1 matches around. Yep, self-proclaimed. Yep.
Because he gets our game.
It's the big game. It's 2 weeks in a row I've been with him, and he does a great job. Okay. He waves, he points, he taps, he does it all.
Okay, fantastic. Earlier today, it was Shock in the C's. It was Port District in the B's. The other games this weekend, some we'll cover in a bit more depth. Others don't need much coverage, including this one. Old Ignatians hosting Glenunga.
They better hope it's raining because it's another good deck. Glenunga by 12 goals.
Teacher
can you give your tip as well, mate?
Glenunga by length of the straight.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Old Iggies, I can't see Old Iggies winning a game this season.
I noticed Hugh Ferrari played the Magpies today as well, finding a way out. No offence, but yeah, his brother was playing good footy though.
Hugh Ferrari might play finals. But Old Ignatians, I'm not sure they're going to get a win this year at the A-grade level. This one for mine is a big game. You talk about the great thing about Adelaide Footy League, the relegation. Well, this is huge. Teacher Gully's Old Collegians. Right now, there's a 3-game gap between 5th and 9th. Saints win that, it becomes a 2-game gap with 5 teams that could play finals or could get relegated.
Not to question the great Phil Hurd, is it definitely 3 games? St. Peter's aren't on 3 wins, are they now?
Well, they've won 3 on the field, and no, I've got them at 2.
Okay, yeah, and one was taken off them, the
correct
Old Iggies game.
Yeah.
Old Iggies again, obviously. Look, for me, it's a bridge too far because Teacher Gully will win their home games at times. It is at
Petteringa.
It is at Petteringa. I expect Teacher Gully to win. If they don't, then it evens up. And for teams that are 5th and 9th, it's going to be a lot closer than people expect.
Yeah. I'm going to go with St. Peter's just because I think it would really set up. Well, I was told them last week, come from the clouds. I think that's a win that can help make your season. They'll go with a bit of degree of confidence. Yep. Prince Alfred and Broadview.
Prince Alfred, well, there are 30 goals up in the C's, and which suggests Park 9 is holding up pretty well, which is the worst nightmare for Broadview. They're getting him off as good as a loss, a draw against the 8th. I'd say they'd be refocused and fired, and they should win comfortably.
Yeah, I'd say 1-1. I mean, we've got 2 games that are 1-1. The other 3 are going to be great this weekend. Prince's by quite comfortable, which means if Teacher Gully go down and Broadview go down, then it maybe opens the door for the Brighton Bombers, who are playing just down the road on their home deck.
Well, it did last week too.
Goodwood Saints. 2 inconsistent teams that could be relegated, could be finalists. How they play out their last 6 games.
Yeah, I actually can't remember because I did a report on Sunday. I'm pretty sure I tipped Brighton because it was at home, but said it'd be no surprise if Goodwood can replicate it. The Brighton Oval in similar condition to Goodwood's.
Yeah, I would probably say Brighton as well. Actually, I'm going to go Goodwood just to disagree with you. And also, I think Goodwood's form line in recent weeks hasn't been bad. They took their Broadview, and they obviously took Prince's all the way last week. So maybe Goodwood try and get some consistent form together. We've already talked about it in the buddy bet. We've had but teams are in the huddles, can't be too far away from getting underway. Sacred Heart Port District. You say Port District, just your reasoning again for those that have joined us a bit late?
8 wins in a row, probably be stung by their last loss, which was a 7-goal loss, upset loss for mine to Sacred Heart. I would expect them to go a little bit. As we see former Glenelg CEO Steve Moore, father of Ethan Moore, just going past. He's just giving me a little salute there.
Can I just say that he came up and said good day to me before, and he was lovely. And he was very smiling and jovial. I wanted to have a chat. He sees you and gives you gives you one of these in a different direction.
on.
He was your boss, wasn't he?
He was when I first got to him. Well, it looks like this might be the defensive line of Sacred Heart at this end. I don't see the big... I could be wrong.
No, Carlotta's heading up forward, heading to the other end.
Yeah.
So what do we call this? We call this the Glenelg end and the Brighton end?
Cove
end?
Club Rooms end.
Club Room end.
Yep.
The Mansion
And that'd
end.
be the southern end.
The lovely two-story houses. You get a great view of the vicinity. So we're all set to rock and roll here. Thanks to the sponsors. Of course, they include the Buddy Bet. They include the Banner Crew, our great sponsors of the live stream. Also Sport Hall, Roller Dice Racing, Archie's. Dart Fish and Sports Interactive, Moseley Bar and Kitchen. To get us underway, you're with Tommy Javor.
The first battle will be the horse Bradley Noble against Sam McKay. Ball one down, straight back down. And we'll see a few stoppages here, but one thing that will happen is they will be able to flick it out. There'll be better ground underfoot, and it's not going to be a bog heap like last week. Plenty of good bowlers are right around the ball as well. We'll get to some of those names in just a minute for our viewers who aren't familiar with who's in the middle. As we see a quick soccer kick, push forward, down Port District will have the first forward foray. Quick follow-up tackle there, good play, and we'll have a ball up 50 metres out from the Port District goal, Phil Hurden.
Yeah, so we're definitely calling more north-south than east-west today, which means that Port District are kicking towards us and Sacred Heart are kicking away from us in this first quarter. That's Hawkins back in the lineup. His kick into the pocket. Cooper Brinkworth leads the race for the ball. It goes out of bounds under those beautiful, what are they, Moreton Bay figs?
Yeah, sure.
That align the terrace here.
Probably the other thing I'll go with, Phil, is for those of you who don't have a compass in your head, or my wife who can't tell direction, they're kicking to the left of screen.
Well, they're not really. Yes, they are, but it's more kicking straight into the camera than left today.
Our left, kicking to the camera, yeah. Yes, as we are down at the club room ends, as the umpire, very deliberate. He thinks about it. Just throw it in, brother. He does a great job. Falls short, someone gets a little falcon, and the umpire finds a free kick it's the first free kick of the game, going to Bradley Noble. They call him the horse.
Well, that was a tricky one, because he realised he was going to throw that into the wind, and it came up a bit short, which led to the free kick. So now Shock with the ball will crisscross to the beach side, the beach wing,
Darcy
as opposed
Glorious.
to the school wing. We're happy with those. Darcy Glorious with it.
Glorious, we used
Glorious.
to call him. Yeah, it says Glorious, so we used to call him Darcy Glorious, but anyway.
Gloria?
Glorious.
I can never tell whether that's the correct pronunciation or just a TJ thing.
Well, no, he said his name was Darcy Glorious to me, unless he's changed his pronunciation, but people do that. As they fly, big pack forms, quicker handball release, right through the middle of the ground. Still anyone's going for a first quality forward foray here. Uncontested, if you will, where they go down forward, setting up behind. Looks like Cooper Gaffney, but they're a long way away, aren't they, Phil? Might have been Lockie Gregg. Now they come out wide, near side. Both teams play this style well. Again, that might be Sam Gray. Is it down the line? You can see left foot, right foot. It doesn't matter which foot he uses. He's a very good footballer. Port Tech wing.
There's some intrepid souls there down the beachside wing here. All rugged up for a rather wet afternoon. Making front position was Seb Kerris. Reading it well was McDermott. They're working it off hands. Was he out of bounds? Oh, the runner is saying out of bounds, but he's not the boundary umpire. And he's giving some advice to the boundary umpire.
Come back in, Ned Brooks.
Well, it was never out. That was the trainer calling it, not the boundary umpire. It's in the pocket. Here comes Oscar Lovelock, who I think was on some beer cans during the week. Somewhere I saw in the socials, Sean Davidson, and they're trying to clear it, looking in the direction of Niskahus, but it bounces out of bounds. In front, I'm going to call the Intrepids down in the southwest pocket.
Of course, Oscar's brother Archie was, I think, part of that 13s group that I coached at Bays, and now playing league footy.
Yes.
Kicked 4 goals in the under-18s grand final last year. Someone's just done himself a mischief. Looks like they might have got hit in the Mexico area of the stomach. Went down the bottom.
As long as it's not Guatemala area.
Just in front of the perineum. What's that word? The bit between the testicles and the anus, the perineum. Is that right?
No idea. You're on your own. I'm thinking to geography. You want to get fat.
I was going medical. Ball in, a long way away from us. I'll get on the binos, Phil. See what you can do.
All right. Well, we're at ground level, and Princes have it, but they can't get anything loose. I think that was Mitch Gaffney in the middle of that somewhere. Hand pass out, I reckon, by Niskahus. That's Cooper Gaffney. I know that hairstyle anywhere. He's brought to ground by Ethan Moore. Another stoppage, and it's a bit willing at the moment, as you'd expect. We have absolutely no score first 4 minutes in.
Yeah, I think it might have been Ned Pilkington's been there a couple of times. We might have miscalled him. He's got a bit of Cooper Gaffney about him. So, but again, and McRae, of course, is the blonde fella that you'll see flash past all the
Gaffney
time.
25 and Pilkington 27. That's
Yep.
going to work well today.
Yep. They are, yeah.
I can see Gaffney okay. Yeah, okay.
Gaffney will look to get that run off of half-back. He does it so well. And we're calling off the screen at the moment. It looks like it's about to clear up. A bit of sunshine just starting to poke through. And it's going to be a free kick to Sacred Heart at ground level there. Getting first to the ball was Oscar Lovelock. And he'll go deep to that line of goal, point post style, to get that repeat stoppage at worst. Comes to ground level, spills. Quick kick out there by Port District at fullback. Again, at ground level, the ground ball's going to be crucial and ripped off it is Charlie Hildyard. The umpire, what does he say? This is a raffle. He's going to go, I think he's gone holding the man. This one where it comes out in the tackle and the umpire can call it either way.
You can see there's some of the facilities there. We do have the permanent coaching hut, but everything else is obviously brought out. Just looking at the rain, I think that once we get through this, we're probably going to have a reasonably clear afternoon.
Yeah, it was just going to be, they said 0 to 1 on the forecast, so that was, of course, in my area, though, about an hour away.
But it's pretty much coming straight from the south, TJ, so if there is rain coming, we will see it before it arrives.
Okay, well, I'll let you know.
Okay, Carlotta, though, obviously his pre-game welcome to the umpires has done the trick because he has the ball in hand to get the first shot in anger in this contest.
He'll line up from about 25 metres out, a reasonably acute angle, but they probably practice from here a fair bit. You expect him to kick it. The umpire doesn't move, and that is his first, Phil, and Sacred Heart's first, and the game's first. Sacred Heart lead one straight goal. Port District yet to score.
Yeah, 2 goals last week against Broadview, 3 goals the last, 19 goals for the season. Man who actually made his Sacred Heart A grade 2012 before spending some time around Sturt, Glenelg, West Adelaide, and of course we know him breaking into league ranks at South Adelaide. So
4 league clubs, wow.
Yeah, well, not 4 Sandford clubs, not at league level, but working with different squads and juniors. So there's the scoreboard here, our Sportal scoreboard, which everyone at Sacred Heart wants to frame now because they're in front of Port District by 1 straight goal.
As we'll have a ball up, and we'll get to some of those midfield rotations in a sec. It's been pretty scrappy early, fair to say. It's won by Sacred Heart, but down at ground level, Port District take it. There's Gaffney. Looks for Gray. Gray, beautiful pickup, but he's tackled immediately, and we'll have another ball up there. So the midfield rotations I've got for Sacred Heart are Ethan Moore, Joel Cross, who I've mentioned yet, Bo McRae, Carlotto will go in there also, and of course Bradley Noble in ruck. For Port District, the usual suspects, Sam Gray, Jason Niskahus, Mitchell Gaffney will go through there, Trent Heffernan, and Sam McKay's the ruckman.
Yeah, Davidson's got Cross. We did have one inside 50 kick earlier in the process, but that's been about it so far. So there's a matchup, Davidson and Cross. Didn't see Joel Cross play the last time we streamed Sacred Heart. Show some of the stars of football that play at this level.
Good tackle. Umpire says I have it. 2-time McGarry medalist, is he, Joel Cross?
Yep.
That's a pretty good resume.
Probably the most exciting thing to happen at South Adelaide over
Hey, they won a women's
recent-
premiership. And
Well, that's true. No, I should never take that out of the equation, but from a men's side, 2 McGarrys is probably about as exciting as it's got, unfortunately, for them
couple of
recently.
prelim finals.
Yes, very frustrating for them. But anyway, back to here. So I think we found another free kick going the way. This is Bo McRae, who actually was best on ground. He got really muddy at Brighton last time they played. Towards the boundary. There's the coach showing some good ruck work at ground level to tap it. Only as far. Well, it comes out to Cross. Cross the quick handball to Darcy Glorious. That's how I'm doing it, TJ. Glorious.
Yeah.
Glorious. Okay, I'll get there. Front of the square. Socket off the ground. Across the face. And Port District will get... Oh,
Great.
They won't get a clearance.
Excellent, Smother. Really good. 1%er, and look, I'll be honest, mate, Sacred Heart, look on. They're up for the contest.
Yep.
I don't think there's a breeze favouring either end.
Well, if the weather's coming up from the south, it should be coming... If it's coming anywhere, it's coming to the clubhouse end.
It'd be coming into my face if it was, and I can't
Yeah.
feel a thing, so...
Usually we've got an 8 out there for Port District that I don't have.
I did check them all, so
Yep.
it's odd. Sorry, number 8, you ain't going to get much love today.
The Port Phantom.
Yeah, quick chain of handballs there. Nice give and get and release, and they should get the overlap on the wing, but the kick's not ideal. Does find Gav Shepard, who just gives a little push off to Gould, it looks like. Was it? Yeah, Benny Gould. I love Benny Gould's work rate. You'll see him do that all day, up and down, do the hard things. We just see big Bradley Noble there dropping behind the ball. Is it Brad Noble? No, sorry, it's Sean Tappy, my mate from the Bays. Used to be he was behind the bar there for a while. Played a bit of centre half back, centre half forward. Plenty of league footy. Sean Tapp. He's been at Shock for at least the last 5 or 6.
He's got, talk about jumpers. He's got the most of anyone I researched during the week. I'll need a goal to talk you through all the clubs he's played.
Sean
for.
Tapp.
Yeah.
He must have. I thought he'd been here for 5 or 6 years, but he must have.
Oh no,
had some visits
he's had
elsewhere.
a journey. He's had a journey.
Okay.
So Sacred Heart go forward against where it's been most of the first 10 minutes.
Oh, umpire off the ball has found a free there. Yeah, sorry to jump in there, Phil.
No.
That's, I didn't see what that was for, but yeah, he did. So that's the important bit.
Sam Lott square. To the top, and Gray is there to mop up. Quick clearance. Can he find a teammate? No. One thing Sacred Heart are doing very well is bottling it up, not allowing Port District easy clearance out of defence.
Structurally, they're set up really well behind the ball, and Port District is sort of banging it out, getting out of the immediate danger area. But
I've got one Port District inside 50, and that was in the opening minute. So the throw in. I think the ruck was won by Collado, but just ricocheting ball at the moment. Lobby had it for a brief moment. Around the body was Proud. Golden fist from District. Gooper Gaffney went down and kicked it. Got it to Gray though. I wonder how many times those two have done that. And he finds Sam McKay.
Bit of a sixth sense there. I think you're right. I was really racking my brain if there was a second one, but I reckon it went in and came out. Shepherd leads up at the ball well, but again, even where they're leading up to, maybe that is the scoring end, Phil, because they are pretty content to take it to a pretty negative area on the wing there, right between the boxes.
And from our view, we also get a look at where the players are, and everybody is on the beach side of this oval.
Player-wise, yes.
Yes.
Lots of ladies inside for ladies, though. I can believe when I walked through. Neither could they. Gaffney, ground level, left foot. Best position is Sacred Heart. Pushed underneath the ball there. Benny Gould just gets it forward. Let's just get it going in our direction, he says. And they'll push it forward with a foot, and that should be a free kick. No, he's saying it's touched. Pretty fortunate there for Trent Heffernan. That's what you get when you're a bloody good footballer and everyone likes you. would have been paid against me, Phil, that's for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a throw in. This is as close as Port District have got to goal in probably the last 8-9 minutes of game time at least.
Yeah, absolutely.
Shock trying to get the clearance. A couple of bumps off the ball. There's two lobbies out there. I forgot that. There's Sam and Elijah. In the end, it was Rankin and Davidson tackling each other more than the ball. You can't call holding the man on one if they're tackling each other. Port District, hey, there's an inside 50.
Yep.
And Glorious with the quick clearance, only as far as Harry Dwyer. Kick from outside 50 by Sam Gray. Fair bit of carry on that for a kick he didn't have a lot of time to set for. We do have a score to Port District. They're one behind. Shocker 1 goal. 5-point margin on the Sportal scoreboard.
Yeah, for all their dominance, it'll only take a goal from Port District and this game can change completely. In this setup there, Jason Niskell was just showing real clever sixth sense, able to find Gray there in the lead in. So look, it's a good battle. It's certainly a good battle early. It's not going to be an easy game for anyone out there. The mid-distance kick doesn't work at ground level. Beautiful clean hands there. Looks for and finds. There's that mystery number 8. I'm going to call him Jeff. Okay. He goes forward. Well done there by the Sacred Heart play. Just kept the ball going, kept it in front of himself, and they'll look through a chain of handballs to get out to the near side. Lovely kick. Yeah, beautiful kick there. Finds the big fella there in the Horse Noble. He goes in ball with a 45. That's the second time he's done that, Horse Noble. He's got good skills for a big man. Umpire will just say, come back over your mark as if you're having a shot. That's okay, we'll take care of that. And that's Joel Cross, the man who needs no introduction. Looks a bit different in the old Sacred Heart blue, doesn't he?
In that lighter shade of blue.
Seb Kerrish, centre half back. Controls a lot of the defensive stuff. Not heavily built, Seb Kerrish, but very clever footballer. Darcy Glorious has been good early. Wants to visit me with a pair of thongs later on. Just taking a bit of control.
Everybody wants to see you after the game, TJ.
Hopefully he's got size 14 feet because that's what size they are this week. Oh, horrible kick by Kerrish. You give a bloke a wrap. Yeah. They could go quickly here. Gray, overlap run. And in best position is probably could have marked it, but they'll punch it over. Second point for Port District. This is a bit bit more what I expected. Phil, the both.
Zach Sanderson with the fist. They can see the behind.
Was it golden?
Well, is there a copyright on that?
No,
I mean, can it be golden if it can see the score?
Only the SA footballer would say it's copyright.
Yeah.
G'day, Luke. As we go long down the line, you like that one, Phil? Galotto flies high, keeps in the contest there as well. I was very considerate of the bloke just ducked under our thingy, mate. You're fine. And we're going to have a ball up 55 metres round from the port goal.
Good news, the rain is gone and the skies are clearing up nicely. We should be in for a great afternoon of Division 1 football here between two premiership contenders. District are third, Sacred Heart All Collegians are fourth. It'll be District inside 50 with the worm burner kick, but well intercepted by Colotto, who's come a long way down to take that grab.
Oh, Charlie Hilliard nearly took his mate Lukey Dewhurst out there.
Hilliard and Dewhurst had a raffle. And that's, I think they went to the well one too many times, although Ben Gould is going to upset the opportunity by going a little high on the tackle, and Clayton Simons is not great, although he's trying to run off.
He looks like Tony, doesn't he? The captain of Shropshire Cross. Tony's not. Clayton, you see, he's very lean.
Yeah, it's just sort of like Tony with another foot.
Is there a skinny captain in the Adelaide Footy League?
A skinny captain in the Adelaide Footy
League. Good footballer, but... Oh, James Batty, the Batman, just pushes him out of the way, says, this is Gotham City, get out of my way. But they clear it. Well played there by Sacred Heart. Long down the line. This is where those big Sacred Heart bodies are crucial, just keeping it, making sure it comes to ground. Bobbing around, a lot of players around the footy, all players within 45 metres of the ball, Phil. Yeah. And it's going to be one of those, when you get possession, you can break, and it's mystery-free there to Port
No one's been able to break as yet.
Yep.
Both teams have held there's what do you call zonal defence, or whatever, net, or whatever you want to call it, quite strong. Keep their shape, I think, is the soccer term they would use. There's some nice kick deflected, and in the end, Dewhurst. So District are catching up point by point. They're on 3%.
He's done himself a mischief, mate.
Well, he looked that way about 2 minutes ago, then he gets in a couple of contests.
Oh, Tappy, that's terrible. But I'll tell you what, the Port District player, Tom Gray, cut his teammate off. He could have taken an easy mark and run straight in towards goal. But, yes, Tommy Gray, the man they call Chooker Gray.
Is he doing the research pre-game? Very impressed.
Yes, thanks to all the B and C graders and injured players for giving me their mates' nicknames. Just adds a little bit to it.
Absolutely. We're back in the middle now. It's actually just Port District side of the middle. One interesting thing about the way this ground is arranged, and I like it, is that the pitch is up in the middle of the other bit to the club room side. The centre circle, you can just see it to the right there, is actually in grassed area as opposed to turf area. Make centre bounces and clearances from there a lot easier today. Cam Rankin has the ball.
All bodes well as long as Ben Stokes doesn't bat here. He's going to break all your windows on this side. Sorry,
he'd have a field day here for sure. It actually would be a lovely place to play cricket in summer, I reckon, here as well.
Yep.
With sea breeze coming in from Somerton Beach, which is what? 400 metres? Just
you could see down White Road.
Yeah. All right. There's the shock bench. On the other side of the oval, there's a bit of a scuffle, and it will be Kenneth Carpenty, who I mentioned before. Carpenty is the only player who wasn't playing.
He's taking it off him, Phil.
Trying to tell the story again, they give it away. Bo McRae, he has it. He's passed it. Looks like cross. He's got into the pockets, found Oscar Lovelock. And now they've got to centre it. He's gone the banana kick and has missed. Or the check side to keep it South Australian.
Snap.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay, snap.
Tell me your Kenny Carpenty story.
Oh, just that he's the only Port District player out here who didn't play at some level for Port District last year.
Okay. Was it West East?
He played a Westies 16 reserve game. Coming from Europe.
And just while I was a bobble coming out, I'm looking for a stoppage here. Question without notice. I'm not sure if I should ask it. Thoughts on Daniel Menz? Just leaving the deadline, leaving your beloved Eagles?
It was one of those that I had an inkling of a little while before it got announced, so no shock.
Just wants to play with mates 3.5 hours from the city?
Yeah, well, look.
Yep.
No, something's not quite right at the Eagles at the moment. Will his departure fix that? We'll find out in due course, I guess.
Sorry to get away from the play. In his defence, he won a good tackle. No, too high there. He won a Ken Farmer medal. He won a flag. So
he won the last game the Eagles won, kicking a goal late to beat the Port Magpies. So I'm not having a go. Darren Menzel, I'm not having a go at you whatsoever.
No, I'm not. Me neither. You know what? You've won a flag. I haven't. And he came back through, obviously, Essentials, came through 5 knee reconstructions.
Yeah.
All the best at Padthaway.
Play footy with whoever and whatever you want to. You've earned that.
That's it. And if you don't want to play, don't play. Leave me alone, PNU, AFO Masters boys. All right. Okay. And the ball, let's get back to the play because it's the captain, Simon's pushing it forward. A lot of umpire whistles here and another free kick to Shock. They're doing well. Number 25, that's Ned Brooks, pushes it forward. They go to that pocket a lot, Phil. Yeah. Dare I say, it's not the Tommy Javor pocket. And this time they stranded up to the fat side. And good spoil there by Port District.
Goes into this southwest pocket where Gould leads the race, taken off the ball. In the same grey direction, can he pick it up? Will he keep it in place? He does that very well with little to spare. But the kick is awry. Cooper Brinkworth has it. He centres it up and finds a target. This is Clayton Simons. Looked okay with that one. His kick a little bit awry though. And Port District, Bo McRae comes in. He relieved McKay of the ball. That's great work. On to Carlotto. Should have been a grab at the front of the pack. Now it's a heavy tackle. Ooh, it doesn't look like the softest ground here, although it should be. It should be a sandy kind of ground here.
Was that Mitchell Gaffney that hit that savage? No,
yeah, it was Elijah Lobby's just checking everything's still attached.
Yeah, it's good tackle either way. Good to see. Simon's again at ground. That was good leather poisoning at the moment. He's got plenty of the ball. They should break. Good tackle. Again, the free kick count heavily in favour of Sacred Heart, but they're earning him. And it's Carlotto, I think, with his 3rd free kick of the game. On record pace here to beat Nick Wonke's record of 8 set 2 weeks ago. They like their ruckman. Quick kick in board, and they're doing well in this build-up. It's just that last kick, that last connector, as we just see Dougie Proud go into the non-Tommy Javor pocket.
They have gone pretty wide,
Sacred
Heart, on most occasions going forward.
Kerrish probably struggled with this one. He's going to kick from 55, puts it in the pocket, does he? No, and dropping back beautifully. Sport District taking the mark. And they'll come this side, and as often is the case, you go that side, we'll go that side, and it's Sam Gray sends his mate into trouble. He could be in trouble. Good tackle, Tommy McDermott. Glorious picks up on the left. Teeth of goals and more whistles from the umpire. And they've found a free kick in the goal square. Tell you what, I know what I want to play for at the moment because they're getting the run of the umpires. Ned Brooks will line up from 15 metres out. I'm not sure if we're going to get a replay of it. I don't want to speak too early. It might have been there, Phil. But, yes. So last week, more than the 1990s English rave. They're going off all over the place.
Well, last year, Brooks was playing for Marble Range, and he has kicked the second goal of this contest at the 22-minute mark. Both the Sacred Heart, both after maybe we won't get the again. Brooks, what you found with a few Shock players I found is they've played here, they go elsewhere, they come back, which is great. An ex-Glenelg under 18, 2 years at Marble Range, 20 and 21, has come back. Getting a bit of a mix between reserves and league, but that's his 4th goal at A level.
And you can see the Shock supporter base there, sponsored by Kathmandu, I would suggest. Lace or some other expensive clothing lace. Also a bit of feel when I've called this place, it's got a beautiful white picket fence a couple of times. I'm confusing Shock with Scotch.
Let's have a nice white picket. At Scotch very well. Not about 2 minutes. As the Shock go forward again, their inside 50 count would be a lot to a little at the moment. Probably at an estimate, maybe 11 to 3. But now it's a chance for Port District. Clever tap from McKay. Now they're on, looking there for Tommy Gray. He's got a couple to beat, which he does. Created space that just wasn't there a minute ago. Hot handball back. Port District are showing all that they're going to go inside 50, but cannot get that last kick away. Simons comes in and says, I'll relieve you of that, and gets the kick. But now,
They're out.
District in numbers, coming to the fat side, working some hands through Zachy Hawkins. Long kick. This will go inside 50. Gray looked to be pushed out of it. Umpire says you were.
He was. He absolutely was. And again, it's the first time Cooper Gaffney's been able to get some run through the middle, the beautiful leg foot, and what do you know, results in a shot on goal. That's just getting your weapons working. That's what they did. And that one was there 100 times out of 100. However, I will say, he did launch himself, Sam, once he felt the push.
Correct. Made sure that we saw it, and if we saw it, have a chance the umpire saw it as well.
I'm not a huge fan of that when you accentuate the launch, but it was there.
Yeah. Sammy Gray.
To kick this, he's played a bit of footy. Goes all right. Young Gray.
Yes, he has played a bit of footy.
Just pulls it near side. And one minor score. And they've had more scoring shots. Oh, and I'll tell you what, he's got some direct feedback from the... And he's a little bit of byplay there. And I will say this, I coached against years ago, plenty of advice for opposition, or say some unsavoury. I gave it a little backfield.
I'm shrinking.
Gave them a little bit of feedback themselves. We did beat them by 16 goals that day, but that's neither here nor there. And,
but we can't help you.
Just the Port District supporters now just going past the Shocksters. Just we can give you a bit of advantage too. But all's fair and love and war. Off-field action, a little bit of off and on-field action merged together. We're in for a great afternoon. And an interesting contest so far. Sacred Heart have made the most of their opportunities. 2-1-13. Port District a bit wayward 0-4. We will take a break. We'll be back with the second quarter very shortly. All right.
Teaming up with the Adelaide Footy League. Tom Wren on the ground at your club for Thursday Night Live, strengthening communities through footy.
Well, folks, we're down here at the Banner Crew. Our friend, supporter and sponsor of Between the Posts has joined us. Welcome, Jason Goods.
Thanks, Tony. Nice to be with you.
What can the people out there expect to buy from the Banner Crew and get looked after?
Pretty much anything that you can put your club logo on or a message from the club, whether it be, like you mentioned, a marquee or a flag or an A-frame or a banner, a stubby holder, a pen, anything like that, anything that you can pop the club branding on. Everything's customisable, so basically a design department with 2 graphic designers that can work toward getting the message across that you're after.
We're down here at 318 to 326 St Vincent Street, Port Adelaide. Jason, thank you so much for your support.
We have one of the highlights of the first quarter. This is Alex Carlotto's shot on goal, which is pretty much, well, that's the first shot, which was a goal. Back when we had some rain, Tommy Javor.
I think we'd have the Port fans would be interested to point out both shots from free kicks. It's a stat.
Yeah, it's a fact, undisputable fact.
First contest, let's go again.
Come on, charges ready, and they'll get back out there pretty quickly, Phil. Phil, you know what I love? I love it when you give me scores from out of ground. What do you got for me, brother?
Well, I've got one score that's not coming up at the moment, but I can tell you that at Karen Rolton, Oldies have scored 13. Gloucester have scored 28.
That's 15.
15-point lead to the Rams at quarter time. Can tell you at Park 9, Prince Alfred lead Broadview 25-20, 5-point lead there.
Wow.
Not as well as what was happening at Pertaringa. Remember I mentioned that St. Peter's were half a chance?
Yeah.
Well, they're on 3, and Teacher Gully on 26.
Yep.
So that's a good start. Obviously a gale blowing at Teacher Gully, although given the rain, they're probably copping it about now.
And you've got no Brighton and Goodwood.
No Brighton and Goodwood. Could I just yell and someone down there will hear me and yell back? Because it's pretty close.
Sacred Heart's still in their huddles. It's going to be. They're going to be in their huddles for a good
they were late coming out. Not as late as the umpires. Well, maybe Port District were just out early. Yeah, look, I'm not sure I'm going to get Brighton Goodwood Saints scores. Well, we'll see how we go.
It is a very, very big week in the Sandford field, so I'm just going to very quickly have a look at these scores.
Okay.
And we are in round 13 in the third quarter.
Lucky for some.
Yes.
So some of these games started at 1:10, so
yes,
they have progressed a fair bit.
I was wondering why the scores were so high.
Yeah.
Now it makes sense. It's the Bulldogs by 17 points over Westies.
Okay. Must win for Central.
Yes, it's Crows by 11 points.
Over Glenelg, which is another huge game. We got 3 big games on Bravo today.
Yeah, Nord by 12, 13 points over your beloved Eagles. And I can't believe Port are up against North. 5-1 plays 1-4.
Yeah, so those two AFL reserve sides, Port and Adelaide, are in. Well, Adelaide. I don't think Adelaide might be my sneaky flat tip. But let's get to the Adelaide Footy League Division 1 game here. It is shocked by 9 points. Port District. Now they go to the scoring end. Tommy Javor will tell you all about it.
There we go. Sam Gray gets a quick clearance, gets it down there, and they're off and running now. Harry Dwyer looks like he's had a move down forward. It was down back early. Oh, Shepherd off the ground, but curiously to the beautiful nets down there. I've been in those nets. They're not bad at all, Phil. As you mentioned, be a great cricket. They are blessed with beautiful facilities. Yeah. The only thing they're probably lacking is some witty banter. Never mind.
Who were the 2 goal scorers?
They were.
And I missed the second
Brooks.
one. Oh, Brooks, of course. Yes, thank you, mate.
Ned.
I'm looking for the Port District goal scorers, and of course, shouldn't have wasted my time.
2 points away from having a goal.
Yeah.
Anyway, as ball ground knocked down ground level now, it's a pack of about 12. They pile on. I'm on the binos here, so powerful. I can see it changing direction. That's a quick kick down the line. Again, it's nothing easy here. Conditions just on the ground. A nice, clean play, but they get it down the line. There's a man in space about 30 metres. It is Liam Ferns.
We have a pretty good look at what he's looking at. He goes across the ground, spots up Lockie Gregg.
Yeah, quite a few of these Port District defenders with the tough stickers on the arms. Ink. Everyone's got ink these days.
You were going with that. Goes with the tackle. Oh, that aside. Is that Simons at the bottom of that pack? Yeah, it is. Clayton Simons. I'm just intrigued when he gets up. No, maybe it's just his style.
He just wakes up injured.
Yeah,
Quick kick. Gaffney, that's the man who they want it in his hands. He goes long, high, wide and handsome. Makes it nice and easy for the shock defenders. And they make Danny Frawley proud. Big fist straight over into those.
Good little.
You reckon they're Moreton Bay figs, do you, Phil?
Yeah, I reckon they're Moreton Bay figs.
Not sure it's going to affect the game either way, so we're not going to worry too much more about it.
But it does add an element
they look
to
nice.
it. Separating
beautiful
from the school.
Visually.
Backdrop.
Yeah, it's a lovely school. A lot of good people who come to this school. Some to name among others.
Free kick to Trent Heffernan. Is the attacking side of centre wing on the school side of the oval.
Arguably one of the best Adelaide Footy League footballers of the last decade.
Yep. Really glad for him when they got the flag last year.
Yeah.
And he played a huge part in that. Kick along the ground. Got to be careful about that. It was taken over by Sam Loybe, just to be another throw-in.
When they battled a bit, he was always the centrepiece, and he was happy to take a bit of a backward step for Sam Gray to come in and a few others and get the whole band together and just complemented them beautifully.
Probably worked out that if he was a weaker link, it's got to be a stronger side.
Yeah, weaker link's probably a harsh way of saying it. But I do get the premise, yeah. 100%. Yep. So big men do battle in ruck. Look, I was one down by Sacred Heart. Yeah, ball bobbles around a fair bit because every time a player looks to take ground ball or possession, Phil, there's a lot of strong body contest. It's about holding a line at the moment, isn't it?
It is.
So there's some hard hands.
We've seen a real opponent on them be in free space so far. It's really been a good accountable
couple of little
game.
Switches and that's it. But it looks like an AFL game in a sense, the way they're all compiled into a quarter of the ground and it just rolls. That quarter condenses and rolls.
They don't have the fitness of AFL players, which means at some point it's going to break down somewhere.
All, of course, except the fan, Batman, James Batty down there. The boys have told me that's what he wants to be called. Old Batman sitting in the square. Yeah. Why wouldn't you sit down there? There again to Sacred Heart. Free kick count. Lopsided at this stage. Coloto's the man. Best position. Just staying in the contest. Doing a good enough job there was Smush. Right under Smushy. Ground level though. It spills. He drops the ball. It's got to be holding the ball. They can't buy one at the moment, Port District. Again, another strong tackle. And that should be a ball up as the umpire comes in. Proudly sponsored by National 9 News. Tom Wren out and about. All the local clubs doing a great job.
Yeah, one of the great sponsors of Adelaide Footy League for quite some time. Some of the ladies and those at the club get to see some football up close. Actually down the other end a fair bit. From the tap, grab by snap, then kicked it. Archwell will give the ball straight back to Port District.
Yeah, they call him Slammer, coming off 4 goals last week. He's very elusive, clever, crafty forward. Probably gets under teams' radar a little bit as they worry about Kakuro and Coloto. But
played for the Uni Blacks in the VAFA.
The VAFA, that's it, obviously.
Correct, the Monday.
Yep. Big kick there by Ferns. I love a good airy. Sam across with a big roundhouse and just absolutely wafted it. Taking nothing but air.
Like my golf game. Yeah, the wonderful facilities we have here. Some of the ladies under the...
Did you see some of these matches? Match actually pairing off heavily each other a little bit of space. Niskuhus is one for me as McRae makes his way to leave each other then, and he's not going to him now either. Yes, he is here. Niskuhus will go to him, but they're not just fan off from each other.
I want to Joel Cross a bit. He's had a opponents. Mentioned Sean Dayton. He's got Ned Pilkington right now. So there's a kick out of the pack. No doubt that.
Out in the ball.
So 5 minutes. What, a quarter and 6 minutes for 2 goals of footy. You'd be having memories.
Last week was actually a good game to commentate to us, mate, because it was tight and tough and like sometimes they were all
you
great.
Probably needed about 30 different ways to call ball up, I reckon, because there would have been a few of them.
Well, there was 100 effective tackles. No, don't try and do Gaelic football, mate. Leave that to the experts. Try a little self-assist flick. Oh, I'm
That was more like a game. Yeah, here's the ball, go fetch.
Yeah, it was interesting, wasn't it? Well worked there. Good play by, that's 27, Nettie Pilkington. I like the Cooper Gaffney understudy, isn't he?
Yeah. So I need Gaff. With these players, I need to see them like next to each other. Just to, obviously, it is a mini Gaff.
They will probably have the better of McKay early stages for mine. More touches around the ground, breaking even and quick soccer off the ground. Gets it down to the next line. Good play. He'll spin. He's gone. He has to be gone that time. Oh, he's not gone. Felt like he probably had an opportunity to give it off before he got tackled when he danced around the first guy. But what would I know, Phil?
Well, Liam Fern certainly didn't give you much of a life.
No, it was a good tackle.
Probably that you're giving a level. I don't mind that too much. I would want to see such a ball come into this level. Because then you'll find players will just stop trying to get it.
Whether it's due, that one was good umpiring. I reckon that Sacred Heart player created his own head-high contact then. Hopefully the replay doesn't make an absolute fool out of me, but there's a lot of that these days. We call it shortening when they drop down to their knees and then they lead with their head a little bit. Hopefully, not the respectful player. Sam Lott.
Yeah.
He definitely got one in the Schnozzle warehouse, and but led with his head. Don't lead with your head.
No, that's the sports. Even American football with the helmet, they still say don't lead with your head.
He's got one in the cranium.
Almost take him out of the contest for a couple of minutes, he'll be fine. Yeah. We hope. Hasn't stopped the tackling though.
And Tom Gray, Chooker's just got one in there. I reckon he got his head stepped on there. Nothing. Umpire perhaps concerned. You're right, Tommy. Rub some dirt into it, brother. He's not an accurate thrower up of the ball. Isn't that always the way? Hit you 5 times in a game.
Tommy Gray's not looking at the contest.
He got stepped. I think his head got stepped on.
Yeah,
like I said,
but he saw the ball coming and just said, "Get out of my way, football!" Really, just an act of disgust.
Harry Dwyer showed a bit of bite so far.
Now he's getting some love, which I think is important because 100%.
If he hadn't punched that ball out backhanded, he would have got falconed.
Yeah, and that would have just, well, yeah. Anything would hit. No, can joke about these days.
Someone gets hit in the head with the footy. I'm a simple man.
As long as they get back up.
There's not enough John Cleese slapstick type stuff these days. And we're going to have another ball up. There's been a lot of stoppages, it's fair to say. Neither team's been able to break.
Well, we've not been a change to the quarter-time score yet.
Suggest there wasn't a scoring in. We were spot on the money there. McRae, ground level, quick.
Certainly doesn't seem to be. I mean, most of the play has been down this end this quarter. That might change right now. So no one can get more than 2 possessions together. A bit of fumbling as soon as you pick the ball up. In this case, Ethan Moore. Look at that. Another double tackle. On this occasion, Harry Dwyer is also wearing the long locks for District. Quite a few with hair to spare. Yeah.
I've got a hair to spare. Quick kick there after release from McRae. There's Cooper Gaffney, yes.
Where's Pilkington? I've got to see these two together.
It's Gray.
So Gaffney's got the red boots. Tell me Pilkington hasn't got red boots as well. Right now, Gray, he's got orange boots. That's
his second poor kick of the day, really, isn't it?
He should take a penalty stroke for that shot. It knocks the trees.
That's in the trees. And they'll come in ball with a 45. Nice play. Ethan Moore, 32 games for the Port Magpies. Now, Sacred Heart looks for the big fella. Bill's at ground level. He just needs to be clean. He wasn't. He'll pick it up now. They'll get it down, and they've got the players running towards the ball. But well played, Gaffney. He's a tremendous footballer. He does things that other people can't.
And it has a decent collection of beanies from us.
Yeah, pair of thongs from me, I think. We've got that beautiful left foot, darts it down the line. Doesn't give the big fellas time to all get under it. It was a clever kick, good tackle, or was it a risky tackle? Umpire says, I'll ball it up, thank you very much. Outer wing area.
Shepherd making the tackle on that occasion. So, in front of the Moreton Bay Figs on the school wing of this oval, it's been a brutal contest in many ways. We've seen a little bit of attrition happening. They're going in hard, and I'm almost wondering, are we getting to a point soon if these tackles start to get more desperate, TJ, where maybe we need to find some free kicks to open this up a little bit?
Yeah, they will.
Maybe?
Yeah, maybe. As here it goes. Quickly played in front. That's the spot to be. They'll roll now when they're off, and why not? Puts it out in front of Passaniti. Met him before the game. He saw that's Gaelic Football 101. Beautiful assist lift to himself. Gets it down the line again. That clean first grab. It's got to be clean. Somehow fashions a kick down the line, but that'll be a last touch.
Champion data. Effective kick to oneself.
Yeah. Yes. You pay that. Of course, we call that a toe tap or a solo when on the run in Gaelic football, for those of you playing along at home. And there's actually quite a few Gaelic footballers involved in Sacred Heart, have been over the years. So Mitch Portlock, who played B grade today, went past, the Floriani family, many others.
There's Tommy Gray still walking off his knock earlier.
Yeah.
Also there, Zach Hawkins up and down the sideline. So he wants to get back out there, I reckon.
It's great to see as well. I just want to say all the ladies now, just a few patrolling past us. Young lady might need a new skirt. That one's ripped. But everyone's having a lovely day. The Champers is flying, and it's a great day for Sacred Heart Footy Club.
Well, at the moment, you'd be focused on other things because there's not a lot happening on the footy field unless you're into the physicality of the game, in which case it's a glorious quarter so far.
Let me see.
The other side really giving an inch right now. Sacred Heart got the early 2 goals, both courtesy of free kicks, and that is your difference in the ball game.
Well done. Kick through and roving the tap from Sacred Heart rack in there, big man. Coming through at public players. Stop the rampaging Ferns. I think it was a good mark there, taken by 45. That is clean. Full pulled off the kick and turns it straight over, and this will certainly be mystery number 8, Jeff.
Jeff with the long kick towards the 50-metre arc to Hefton. Oh, I've got no other name. I'll go with yours. That's fine. Smush, though. He's had a couple of good defensive plays. Coop Gouthing, how is he that free?
And he should be able to link up with Kenny Carpenter. But the good pressure there. Do you know what? You've got to give credit where it's due. The pressure there from number 10.
Boxed him in, didn't he?
Yeah, cranks. Cameron Rankin did well enough just to corral, box, shimmy, whatever you want to call it. But he certainly locked him in. Deny. Yes. Reminds me of Katie last night. Bit of denial. It's the longest river in the world, Phil. Denial. Hugo just looks at me and says, "What is the matter with you, commentator?"
So this is what happens when we don't have a goal in 15 minutes of play. TJ starts sharing more than he should.
Oversharing high up and under here. Whistles going off all over the place, and it's going to come back to Port District.
Okay, here's their shot. Here's their chance at too far out to score.
Yeah, Tommy Gray, the chook, he's recovered from his head knock.
Back.
Well, unless he kicks it this way, then he's still battling with it. But we don't joke about head knocks, do we? Again, he's just got a couple of the old the ink prints on the arm. They all represent something. All right, he goes wide out there. I think he's further away from goal. I'm not even sure about that. That reminds me of they just kept doing that all day, going out to that. Looks like to me the hardest place on the ground to score from.
Could I see what kick 215 was that? Bad kicking or low percentage shots?
It was 6 chances between 20 and 35 metres out, but the ball was heavy. And when Hayden Jolly doesn't make the distance from 30, it's a tough one.
They put a brick out there instead of sharing. Well, Port District, this is a rare time we've been for that. I remind everybody again, we've got 15 minutes,
20.
And there has not been a solitary score in this quarter.
No, it's free kick Joel Cross plus 25. The umpire has
5 goals might win this game.
Yeah, Tommy McDermott through the middle. He might be the nephew of Chris, the great Crows inaugural captain.
We're in the right area.
Oh, that's 25 as well. That man is just, he's just giving him a little clothesline. Not sure what happened there. I think it was an accident. And they've got open players here in the pocket. They should be able to find him. He will. He does. That was all a bit too easy.
Well, Oscar Lovelock was calling for that ball 45 seconds ago, and I thought too early or too late to get to him. In the end, no one manned up.
Yep. He's missed. You could hear the groan of anguish, not the noise of affirmation that you want to hear. Give us one of them as he kicked it. He knew he'd pulled it near side narrow all the time. Gaffney will kick out duties here. Whooshka. Low kick, looks for a great mark. Took it at its highest point there. Impressive play by Gav Shepherd, the man they call Bunger. Do you know why they call him Bunger?
Yeah, I'm sure you're going to tell me.
No, they don't know why either. He's just Bunger, right? That's good enough for me. And the umpire might have found one here for Port District, and they have. It's Gaffney. He might have been held without it. I wasn't. No, it's not Gaffney. None of us know who it is. So
it is Gaffney. It's Mitch, not Cooper.
Thank you.
Your subconscious got it right.
Yeah, no. Pure luck. I thought this ground had a fence around it. That's how I'm tracking. Big fly there, and he doesn't actually get near the ball. So, but it spills. They'll come running now, straight down the gullet. Misses the target intended. Allows Port District to clean up. He drops the ball. He should have been a free. As you heard, shock supporters McRae just handles his own wrist. That's a turnover there. Again, it is scrappy, Phil. It is real scrappy, and we're on target here for a 23-minute quarter.
Yeah, well, it's gone 17. We've had one behind scored courtesy of Lovelock's miss. but on just the basis of that one kick, Sacred Heart are winning the quarter, extending a 9-point quarter-time lead to 10. And I thought just for a moment it was starting to open up a little bit, because what I'm looking for, TJ, is how long can these two keep at it like this? Who's eventually going to crack? And I thought for a second it was opening up, but it's shut right down again.
Yeah. We'll have another stoppage, will we, Phil?
Yeah, good to see Tommy Gray. I was a bit worried about Tom Gray when he came off. Wasn't sure where 100% he was, but he's back out there now and looking all right at the bottom of the packs where he loves to belong.
Oh, he's come out of it. He's just stole the ball there. It's a very good play. I'm not sure who it was.
I reckon that was Rankin, possibly, or Cross.
It was number 10. It was Cranks Rankin.
You know why he's Cranks?
No.
Run near the door.
I see Rankin.
Oh, there you go. Fair enough.
It's in the name.
Yeah, good. Oh, I like that one better than Jonesy or Smithy or Davo.
Players will stop and look at the umpire thinking it might have been a free, and the umpire says it's not a free, it's a ball up. And just quickly, Phil, as Westies have kicked 4 in a row, the Leeds Centrals, and the Crows have kicked 4 to probably put the game out of reach of Glenelg.
Wow, well, that means Sturt and South that I'm commentating tomorrow. Sturt could go top with a win, I think.
Nobody wants that.
My theory is just on Sandford. I think I have a bad feeling in my bones that this is the year an AFL club gets their hands on Tommy, aka the Thomas Seymour Hill Cup. That club being Adelaide.
Always. Just maybe. Umpire says no, it's a free kick. I'm not going to comment being an employee, but it wouldn't be ideal if the Crows.
Well, all I can say is it would be the most interesting of grand finals.
I don't think it would.
Well, I'm not really going off target, but hey, just remember 9,000 turning up to the Bay first year. I thought 9,000, the Bay, it's going to go off, and it just had this really quiet vibe about it. Nobody knew who to back for.
But then Glenelg won by 80 points that night.
They did. But I get the feeling that would be what the grand final would be, some very conflicted supporters.
Yeah, also,
not sure what to do.
I did see it in the finals last year, a few Crows AFL supporters going and just stirring the pot with the Sandford guys. Just, let's move on. Let's hope it doesn't happen.
Yeah, so I told you a Sandford show.
Yeah.
We'll talk to John. See what he wants.
Anyway. Look, it's tight and it's tough. It's tense.
It's in time on.
Those scores. Currently in the mini league, Westies have got up over Centrals.
In the mini league, getting mini league scores
in a higher scoring game than this.
Mini league scored 4 goals in their 10-minute.
I've watched 6 quarters of football, Phil, for less than 2 goals per quarter combined.
I know. I mean, you were supposed to just be almost out of material.
You've got much I wouldn't mind a goal. and again, the problem with this is, I mean, we're a long way away from the play. They're all around the ball. It's really hard to think meaningful out of commentary-wise.
And the umpires are being, let's be positive here. The umpires are being consistent. Unless there's something blatant, they're letting the players sort it out.
Yeah. Not blowing up early. Quick kick by Sam Gray going forward. Could this open it up? Gould leads in the race. Again, this time running through, it's Pilkington.
There we go.
Yeah, that other Ned. But again, there's just no easy quick ball, and the Sacred Heart should clear. A long kick down the line. Big fly. Ball ground level again. Another quick kick. It's a very similar look to it.
It's gambling kick, isn't it? No time to look up, find a teammate. Not that they're going to be open anyway.
Kicking efficiency, I think it'd be under 50% for both teams.
Yep.
Would you call them efficient?
Well, the only thing is, there hasn't been a lot of kicks to start off with, so Heflin tries to take it out. He's tackled. He's not just tackled by one person. Whoever's getting the ball is being tackled by 2 or 3.
22-minute mark, Phil. We've seen a point this quarter between 3rd and 4th. It is just a congested schmozzle.
Oh, no, it's a footy game where both teams are playing defensively and accountably at a high level. Before. And the umpire's coming in to sort it out. No side's breaking. It's going to be something like that, which looked like an over-the-shoulder for mine. Has the umpire seen it that way?
No, he's pulling up.
And that's going to happen because we're looking at it from a different viewpoint.
Quick kick goes corridor-ish. Again, Port District, ground level, number 6 there. That's Batty back there. What's he doing back there? No, it wasn't Batty, sorry, it was Gould, was it? No, it's Jeff. It was Jeff. No wonder I was confused. Now they might go open
So how are
side
we going to
here.
go when he wins a prize?
Jeff can't win.
First question, who are you?
Hildyard. Looks for, there's a 23 out there for Shock as well. We are battling. Darcy Gomez gets on the end of it. Looks for the big fella, and he does. He finds Bradley Noble.
That's 3 possessions in a row to the one team.
Inboard, he goes across to McDermott. Big fly! Sonny Gray, it's your day. He just may eat some hay. Absolutely brilliant.
Well, if he does, he'll have an earmouth mouthguard, because that would be, currently that is the play of the day in a match a little bit devoid of highlights if you're not into tackling.
Are you sure it wasn't one of the free kicks for the 2 goals?
No,
that was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Oh, I like that.
Just need Port District to win now.
It's horrible when you're underneath them. You got to feel for young Tom. That was Cranky Rankin down there. He would be
Very cranky Rankin.
Yeah. Quick kick there by Zach Hawkins. He's certainly been trying hard. That kick is very high. Straight up the chimney, as they say, Phil.
Yep, elevator
big tackle.
shaft kick.
Umpires fine one this time. It's a higher tackle. It's kind of what most of the free kicks have been. Someone's down behind play. He's playing very flat, but that's not whose free kick it is, I don't think.
It is a sheer battle of attrition.
Yes,
today.
in the battle of will. Who will break first? And it is, looks like, what's he signifying?
Blood rule.
Yeah, blood rule there. I'm not sure who the blood rule is.
It is. What more important, it's going to be Smush's kick too far out to score. I mean, we've got 24 and a half minutes. Admittedly, that's put a bit of extra time on the clock, but gee, a 1 point
Could be more than 30 seconds, and he goes short to Gray. Why wouldn't you? Well, it's because it's not on, and that'll open it up.
McRae, some hand passes. There a chance here, Sacred Heart. That's 3 possessions in a row. Rare this quarter. Brad Noble's kicking. Liam Firms, he gets sport, the defender. Reversal of roles there. That was by Ned Brooks. Brooks still fighting for it. It's in Sacred Heart's forward 50. If it spills free, they got a chance. Quick hand pass. It's through Brooks. Straight to Gaffney. He quickly gets a kick before taking home. Umpire doesn't see it. Finds Sam Gray. Gray versus Cross. Gray tries to hand pass. Cross, and
he just sat it on his day in.
I know we were going to have special comments next week because I'm not sure if he's, well, yeah, we'll let the umpires sort that out in due course.
Was that a free kick?
It was a full frontal contact.
Was it frontal? It wasn't side? Okay.
No, it was just front. Well, again, the replay will show it. It looked frontal. And
here it is, on between Cross and Gray here, just making equations. Oh, Darcy, stay out of it, mate. Come on. And now he gives him a pat. Comes into Brazil. You know what? Now I'll give you a hug instead. And what we have missed is McRae has the ball, number 29, the man they call Snowy. And
look, and there's more interaction.
And I'm going to call it.
Don't look at us. We're not the Adelaide Footy League. Joel Cross wants to. Joel Cross is calling for match.
And McRae has absolutely shanked it to 30 metres out. Again, there's a complaint for off-field language used by a supporter. I'm
not sure if we're down to handle that. Is that in your job description?
No,
TJ?
but they're calling over a... in my opinion, I reckon he should probably just worry about what's happening on the field. But at the same time, I don't know what was said, so I won't comment on it.
Yeah, and it's this game.
Do you know what, Phil?
It is a powder keg.
Yeah,
it is a literal powder keg right now.
You've got people abusing Sam Gray right there. He's using a word that I don't like, but
okay, we will take a break. The score, well, 1 point. Sacred Heart for that quarter, 2-2-14. Port District's 4 behinds. It is Sacred Heart by 10 points. We will take a break. If anything happens, we'll let you know.
News, teaming up with the Adelaide Footy League. Tom Wren on the ground at your club for Thursday Night Live, strengthening communities through footy.
Well, folks, we're down here at the Banner Crew. Our friend, supporter and sponsor of Between the Posts has joined us. Welcome, Jason Goods.
Thanks, Tony. Nice to be with you.
What can the people out there expect to buy from the Banner Crew and get looked after?
Pretty much anything that you can put your club logo on or a message from the club, whether it be, like you mentioned, a marquee or a flag or an A-frame or a banner, a stubby holder, a pen, anything like that, anything that you can pop the club branding on. Everything's customisable. So basically we've got an in-house design department with 2 graphic designers that can work toward getting the message across that you're after.
We're down here at 318 to 326 St Vincent Street, Port Adelaide. Jason, thank you.
I don't think that bloke knows either. I don't think that bloke knows either.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
That's right.
Oh, there we go.
If North can't be Port, all is laid out.
Okay. Yeah, just hold on. Just keep watching from this point.
Eagles are level, mate.
Are they? Oh, go Eagles. Yeah, I want something nice to talk about, so if they could win, that'd be good.
It is. Terrible bump.
Collingwood by 54.
Was it front on?
Yeah, do you want to go back?
Do we want to be showing it then?
News, teaming up with the Adelaide Footy League. Tom Wren on the ground at your club for Thursday Night Live, strengthening communities through footy.
Well, folks, we're down here at the Banner Crew. Our friend, supporter and sponsor of Between the Posts has joined us. Welcome, Jason Goods.
Thanks, Tony. Nice to be with you.
What can the people out there expect to buy from the Banner Crew and get looked after?
Pretty much anything that you can put your club logo on or a message from the club, whether it be, like you mentioned, a marquee or a flag or an A-frame or a banner, a stubby holder, a pen, anything like that, anything that you can pop the club branding on. Everything's customisable. So basically we've got an in-house design department with 2 graphic designers that can work toward getting the message across that you're after.
We're down here at 318 to 326 St Vincent Street, Port Adelaide. Jason, thank you so much for your support.
Mahuta goes all the way. Where again, Mahuta?
Taliqua, too classy for them. The Blue Star flashing, beats the ball. A Blue Star gets up the win.
But it's all Globe, 100 metres to go. It's 6 lengths in front. This is an outstanding performance again. And Globe eased down, won the King's Coronation Cup in a canter.
I reckon this might be first quarter highlights because Sacred Heart kicking to the southern end. That was Ned Brooks's goal. We're doing that because there was no goal to show highlights. Let's have a look at this. This is something that got everybody riled up. Interesting play from Sam Gray, and then just look at the play coming in, and that got everybody going. Can we see that one again, if that's okay, because TJ's just made his way back. It was Tom Smush, the offender. Doesn't look... I just want to have another look at that. But anyway, we'll come back to the replays in just a sec, TJ. Some scores around the grounds, and I'm missing one from Brighton. But it is Glenunga as expected. They were 15-point leaders at quarter time. Now they're 47-point leaders, 61-14 as expected. Yep. Prince Alfred and Broadview, well, it was Prince Alfred by just 5 points at quarter time. They now lead by 26 at half time. Here's the incident again.
Yep. Gray, Cross.
Yep.
Yeah, you just need to get a bit more side on, I think. A bit too front on, not enough side on.
Yeah, but then again, didn't hit him high front on, but it was enough to get a reaction. And look, we've had people saying they said this and they said that, and really I don't think any particular bunch of supporters is doing themselves proud during this first half of footy, and maybe my best advice is get your own group together and pull your head in.
Yeah, I did mention to you there's always a lot of advice given out, but it's pretty clear a lot of it's directed towards the bigger name players. So Joel Cross for Sacred Heart, Sam Gray for Port District. They're easier targets. You've seen them on TV. You think you've got a right to be able to say what you want, but you don't.
No, and look, it's a game that's probably been a little bit frustrating to watch because there's been not a lot of action on the scoreboard, but the players are going in hard. Bar that one little altercation and maybe one a bit earlier, they've been going pretty fair in what's been a very physical game. So you can only have so many stoppages without a couple of them being a bit out of order.
This is not like anything we've seen before, Phil. You brought it to our attention very astutely. They didn't go in the rooms. They've had a chat. They're going to be nice and warm when they get.
I have seen it once before, and it did involve black and white Port. It involved the Port Magpies at Richmond Oval one day. They were unhappy with the state of the Richmond change rooms they were given, and decided they'll just take their halftime break right next to the mini league game.
Fair enough.
That resulted in some memos from League HQ, and I don't think Port did that ever again.
Memos?
Because what was happening was that half time they promote come and have a kick and catch on the oval.
Yeah, sure do.
And Craig was denied that because Port Magpies had taken up a fair chunk with them in their entourage, which AFL.
How long ago was that, by the way?
Oh, that was in the early days. That was.
So Port would have even had their own mini league. They would have understood how mini league operated because they don't have mini league now because they don't have a zone.
I would suggest it was that little bit of time. Yeah, I reckon they weren't the reserves team at that time. But they were under the power bandwagon. There's a 2-year period.
Now, in front of us here, do I see someone that's just finished umpiring or someone from the league who's now at this ground as an observer?
Oh, yes.
What I will say is there's a lot made of it and it happened right in front of us. I've been at a lot of grounds over the last 20 years. I've seen 50 things worse than that. And, but it is a new era, isn't it? And you're responsible for what you say.
What's different with those is on 2 occasions we've seen a player decide to conflict from the other side.
Yep. The thing with the fence is it's your right to take it. No one else can tell you what you can and can't be offended upon. So certain things offend me can offend other people, and vice versa.
And I go that way every time we're on air. What can I offend TJ about this one?
Yeah, no, you've never offended me. Yeah, so that was Jason Collard, the umpire, nearly copped one in the scone. So look, Phil, better players, I shouldn't question without notice, but better players, and it is hard that quarter, because we just try, that's the way we do the awards, we like our best players each quarter, standing it up. For Port again, Sam Gray looks
the
like
tackle of the game. I think that's the way we're going at the moment.
Cooper Gaffney as well. Again, I do think Bradley Noble's probably the best big man on the ground at the moment, so he'd be in there. No goals, so nothing there.
I'm just thinking about this type of game that we're seeing. Whose type of game are we playing at the moment?
I think it's going to play in the way favour of Port District.
Yeah, I'm thinking this is Port District that I saw against Prince Alfred earlier in the season. The difference is at the moment is Sacred Heart are meeting them in kind.
Yep.
But I'm not sure this is naturally Sacred Heart's game. It is very naturally Port District's game, as we saw their premiership year last year.
Yep. I dare say the first 5 minutes of this quarter will be the most interesting 5 minutes of the game.
Yep.
They're going to come out.
Yes. Well, as I said, it's a bit of a powder keg. Half-time break has had a chance for everyone just to take a breath. Those that needed to be spoken to were spoken to, and we'll see what arises from that. Umpires are out, not too far away from the start of the third quarter. Just those results, if you did just take a break during half-time. Glenunga leading Old Ignatians by 47, Prince Alfred leading Broadview by 26, Tea Gully leading St Peter's by just 7. Again, Saints, like they did against Brighton last week, a slow start, but coming back into the contest. And Brighton and Goodwood, your guess is as good as mine. No score update from down Brighton Road.
Yep. My tip before the game, of course, was Port District. Yours was Sacred Heart. Are you happy with that one, Phil?
Well, I'd prefer to be in Sacred Heart's position than Port District, but 10 points on a normal game is not much. It's only really an issue when you've got maybe 2 minutes left in the game and someone needs 2 scores to win. Up until then, it's a deficit that's easily overcome if you get a run on.
One thing we don't get is the statistics given to us till 7 a.m. the next morning, so we're always doing a bit of best guesswork based on our knowledge and what we watch, but what we can obviously tell you is 4 scoring shots apiece. So I'd say that when it's broken open, Sacred Heart look the more likely to score.
The Sri Lankan street food has turned up, I assume for the Ladies' Day.
Okay,
late.
A little bit late.
Well, that's...
Mind you, after a good bottle of champers, you wouldn't mind whacking in some Sri Lankan street food. What would that be? It'd be some curries and...
No idea.
Anyway.
Not a clue.
Good luck to them. All right, of course they do have the Barbie over there, and a pretty good crowd, it's fair to say as well. It's especially just to the right of our commentary position. A great
facilities here that were rebuilt in recent years. I think there's a gym of some sort behind us, but it's a magnificent setup here. Players go downstairs to underground change rooms, and everything is nice and spacious.
Just in the midfield for Sacred Heart, it's Tom McDermott, Ethan Moore, McRae, and the big fella. The big fella gets a secondary touch, and it just frees up to Ethan Moore. And that's your 4 for Sacred Heart. Whilst for Port looks like in there we've got Heffernan, possibly Gaffney.
There's a Mitch there.
Yep. As that Bill Hildyard. Big Chaz, or little Chaz I should say. Beautiful looking kick, nice lead up there. We haven't seen too much of that. Tom McDermott. Sorry, pardon me, it's Cameron Rankin. He'll go long towards the teeth. Oh, big fly, doesn't quite come down with it. And again, pack forms. It's a great level. And we're going to have a ball up about probably 35 minutes out.
A little bit of a wind about and sunshine chance for the guy out for some rain that started proceedings. That's a big jump from Carlotto.
Third man up.
He's still got it. The snap around the body. Attempted by Lobby is spoilt. Coming in, Zach Hawkins to lay the tackle. And
that was Alex Dienhoff with that full length, full body smother. If that doesn't fire your team up, nothing will. Great smother, Alex.
Well, just as much as it wouldn't take much for Port District to recover, a couple of goals to shock, and suddenly it looks insurmountable for Port District. So, can't go to say next goal and a half of footy to go, but low scoring game. Here come Port District now. Needed the important hand pass, which they got to Shepherd, which managed to elude the defenders coming across. So a couple of loose district players kick downfield. Well, that hit Tom Gray on the chest right off the logo.
Take it in the Dukes and just allowed that long arm of Sean Tappy just to tap it out. Yeah. Pardon the pun. Shooter McGavin to be proud.
So still a 10-point lead. No goal. When was the last goal scored? About 19-minute mark of the first quarter from memory?
Yep. Free kick. Again, Brooks has controlled the road. Noble's controlled the ruck tackle. A little bit to go on with there for Dougie Proud. Nothing doing. Bowl in, just forward to the centre for
and
Port
that's
District.
one where the tackler has done himself a bit more damage, which is Lachlan and Greg. They come off.
Shepherd, Tom Gray and Batty all extremely well held so far. We probably haven't made enough of those defenders who've done a fantastic job for Sacred Heart. They are, of course, and the ball will go out. It does. Those defenders are, of course, Zach Sanderson, the man they call Whisper. Because apparently when he goes into a room, everyone whispers. He might just be deaf, I'm not sure, or paranoid, but they do call him Whisper.
Okay, not sure that really works in a commentary setting, but...
Big punch there.
Okay, yeah. It's in the middle.
Oh, quick. Yeah, well done.
Except Kerish in the long sleeves. But again, to no one in particular, and wherever Shock pick it up, Port District tackle, and there's a lot of vice versa. There's a shepherd by the coach. If it sits, he's half a chance, but it won't. And he's gone a little high over the player who went down to get the ball.
Hate to correct you, smother.
It was a smother. Dean off with it. What did I say? Did a tackle?
No, you said Shepherd.
Shepherd. What?
You're thinking of Gav Shepherd.
I'm thinking of Gav Shepherd. He was right next to it. Bloody hell. Okay.
Yeah, so Port do get it down here. The quality of forward down here is going to be every chance, but Sacred Heart just working back well behind the ball. Here might be a chance, and just in front of that parochial group who've had offered plenty of advice.
And I'm looking around and I'm saying, okay, so where's the, surely with this is a loose player in defence, and no, there's not. Everybody pretty much is manned up.
And the point from receiving or gaining possession to being tackled, it's quicker than a hiccup. It is a 0.4 of a second tops type thing. Curtly Ambrose coming in, you get rid of it. It's just elite pressure. Although this time, just a touch of space, just enough space. Gets it down to Batty, cutting across beautifully. Sean Tapp, he's been very good back there today. Again, not huge. Oh, and free kick after disposal.
That's a shame if it is, because it was going to be
a turnover.
It was going to be Port District's ball last possession. Yep. Instead, and it's in blue.
He sent Sam Gray over to the boundary line and let him play on him board. That's interesting. And Kerry's just working around. He's going left, so he has to be off his line, but there's no stand rule, so it doesn't really matter, does it?
Don't have the stand rule here yet. I've got to remember that for Sandfield tomorrow.
Cooper Brinkworth, the man they call CJ. I assume it's because his middle name starts with a J. Long kick there. That's Tom McDermott. Had a farm. Big fly there. This way, that away. Nice play. That's glorious. So I haven't minded his game, the young fella from the factory. Ground level. That pace, Sacred Heart. Phil on the Port District at ground level at the bottom. Being tackled there. Umpire.
See how they're set up at these stoppages, and there's two Sacred Heart players in the goal square, Cross and Carlotto. I reckon Carlotto as a third man up would be not a bad option. We saw it once and it worked for him to get a clearance, but this time free kick given away against Rankin. District to the school wing looking for Shepherd. This time he collects it, takes it out of bounds, says good day to the fan club, and returns the ball.
There is still a bit happening between Sam Gray and, well, you can only say it's the Sacred Heart supporters. They are, there is plenty back and forth. Anyway, let's follow the play.
Hasn't affected his game much. He's still
He's
a centre half forward, and he's still advising at the stoppages.
Just goes to the easy option across, makes it someone else's problem. So it's a horrendous haircut in this young footballer. Bit of perm, bit of Smithers, no sideburns, but a beautiful looking kick. We'll give him that much. Down the line, cutting across the Port District player. Again, it's just so hard to get clean possession. The young Cooper Gaffney, his understudy, does a great job there. There's, of course, Ned Pilkington to goal. We haven't seen much of goal. He's got now a nice little neat left footer. Here's Sam Gray. He'd love to put one through here and let those supporters know. Now, he's going to be kicking from about 55, probably just outside his range, you'd suggest.
Maybe a bit of wind.
Green kick, beautiful looking kick. to Kenny Carpenter, and again, a man with sense probably make this work. Is he a left or a right footer?
About to find out. Holds the ball in his right, if that's an indication.
I've seen him kick with both sides.
I would suggest if he's holding it in his right, he's probably a right footer.
Anyway, he's going to line up about 5 metres in from the boundary, around about 40 metres out, and right in front of the broadcast. Could we expect a little celebration? I reckon he might be a left footer, Phil.
Okay, yeah, you see his first step with left.
He is, and it's a nice looking kick. He likes it, and Sam Gray just says, there you go, here come the districts. I'll tell you what, there is plenty happening on and off the field here today, and there's going to be a bit of heat in this one moving forward, and they go back to the middle of the ground with Cameron Rankin, give a little bit of what for, it's still going on, and it's their company coming with a man, and it was crucial, Phil, 1-4.
That's a great kick. That is a great kick in the conditions. As you can see there, Port District's taking to mark that one down, TJ. The 6-minute mark of the third quarter, and Port District have their first goal. And could well end up winning this and staying, well, then that will be for all the marble, well, not all the marbles, but it'll be for a big marble next week, top spot against Prince Alfred.
Well, you talked about that first goal being so crucial. Umpires has an unusual throwing style.
Yes, he's sort of, it's not exactly vertical, is it?
He doesn't throw it out, he doesn't throw it up, he throws it out.
Correct.
Yeah, I guess they're used to it.
I mean, the ruck, then chance at the ball, and I guess that's all you can ask. And if you know it's coming that way, then you adjust accordingly. A 4-point footy game. Biggest margin has been about 11 points, I would say, at some point.
Yeah, I think you'd be right there, spot on there.
And we're back to scrimmage upon scrimmage upon scrimmage.
Of course, it was that quarter, Phil, which is quite a surprise.
Yeah, no goals to the Hove Brighton end of this ground.
Right, Heffernan with the left foot. Tap appeals for the free, but it's going to go Port's way, and they're off and running here into the pocket. Gray's lurking dangerously. Just goes forward of the contest, working his way hard with Shepherd. He does touch it, and it's just seen out of bounds. We have a ball in 30 metres, right in front of our commentary position. Ball will land about 30 metres out from the Port District goal, and this is where they are dangerous on the move. You've got Gould, Gray, Shepherd, plenty of good footballers.
And there's a whole bunch of players, just a kick further downfield, but there's nothing behind the throw-in, interestingly.
Strong play, one by Tap there, releases the hands, he's tackled, and he's probably gone, Kenny Carpenter. The umpire says, you are, Ken, you had a step.
Yeah.
Reminded me a lot of the other one in the other quarter, but never mind. It's Seb Kerrish, recipient in the team tackle there with Ethan Moore.
Kerrish will go across to Dewhurst, who looks to test the option, heads for the boundary side on the wing. Good long penetrating kick. Here's an inbound player in Cooper Bringwood that had 3 straight possessions, now going for full back to Kerrish. He started it back at the kick in. Now he's a bit indecisive. Now he's really not sure.
The Port District structure and setup is very good. You wouldn't want to miss.
Kick missed. It's in the middle.
They might get you going the other way. Buddy not sure what to do. There's no one down there. He can't kick it. He's got to go short. Had to pull the kick, and that actually is a good result based on what was available. Gould, strong, clean hands. He's tackled. He sits down like he's in goal. The umpire will ball it up, I think. Again, right in front of us. We get plenty of action right here. Yeah. Zach's mate. The umpire says up. Up.
And away.
Making his way up was Zach Sanderson.
So by clearing a bit of space. Threw that a fair way away from where the stoppage was, actually, just as a matter of note. Hilliard's kick to the forward 50. Again, just a fight for the footy. It's been like this all afternoon.
Great to see as well, mate. I can't help but get personally look at someone like Charlie Hilliard. I remember him as a 13-year-old scrawny little blonde fella, and see him grow into a man and become a good footballer. You always enjoy coming back and seeing these kids play as men. Yeah. Sam Gray, quick, elusive, dangerous. It's all Sacred Heart though, and they worked that out well. Yep.
The one problem with kicking the ball around your body facing the other way is you've got no idea what you're kicking to.
That's where you need your forwards in front, and you need the numbers, but the numbers are all Sacred Heart. And coming out is Sanderson. Good fly, good grab. That's the big fella, the horse, is it?
Noble.
Yep.
He'd be amongst your better players, I would suggest, TJ.
Absolutely, in each quarter.
New Balance player of the game, Dartfish Beanie, Moseley Bone Kitchen team player, and of course the Nearmouth mouthguard. For the play, we've got a nominee for Port District, just waiting for Sacred Heart. Maybe here's a chance, as it's Elijah Lobby into the pocket. If he kicks this around, if he marks that, running with the flight of the ball, it might have been a nominee, but not to be. Port District now will clear down the beach side of this oval here. The senior school oval. Noble's hand pass. They worked it through. First bit of space Sacred Heart have got. Here comes the cavalry for District. Here comes the stoppage. Here come the ball up. Just for a moment though, I thought they were a way to get the kick inside a reasonably open forward 50, but not to be.
Well, we're a bit late to be finding new geographical ways of describing the ground, but residential side, school side, beach side, school side. Either way, it's on the wing in front of us. And that's was that Crossy just getting it down nice and quickly there. So it was Dougie Proudy, getting it down. But again, ball's at ground level, quickly tackled, and there's a lot of that. And that's one man we haven't seen a lot of this quarter is Joel Cross.
Well, he was pretty vocal at the end of that second quarter. That's a kick around the body away, straight to Cooper Gaffney. I know that because of the red boots. Gav Shepherd, who takes the mark.
Yeah, how nice a kick is he? Just is beautiful. It was like a laser beam off that left foot. It comes down the line. Gould's first to wait to it, is it? No, it's Tommy Gray. The chucker, after his head stepped on. Earlier they could have very good in the other day. You know, I like my defenders.
Yep.
Phil and McRae, always clean. Beautiful.
Elijah Lurby has it. He goes across to the school side, picks up Henry McAuliffe. Another famous name in South Australian sport, McAuliffe, that's for sure. Terry, great caller of the Sheffield iconic foot race. Here's a chance inside 54. Sacred Heart. Here's at ground level. It was Rankin. Couldn't break free though.
Beating everything in this quarter. Rankin,
he's still battling for the ball though, as Niska kicks around the body. Bounce will take it out. No!
Shepherd, well done.
Shepherd, great work for Fascinating. And District.
They look to try and break the tackle. He doesn't break the tackle. He does release there. That was Lockie Gregg. They get it going down, but again, set up 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on 2 there. And it's happened a couple of times now. Port District very well set up behind the ball, but it means in front of the ball, Phil, when they get it effective. Just going the other way is Tom Chuka Gray, making his opponent earn it. That is, of course, Seth Kerrish.
And in every stoppage I've seen, it's been man on man. But it's just the work rate to get back that's been very good from both sides. In the middle, free kick found will go the way of Passaniti.
One of these Sacred Heart boys goes, he's got 3 syllables. He's actually got 4. Passaniti. Lots of letters. Lots of vowels. Leave some for the rest of us. Of course, it's down.
Kick into the pocket. Well kept out by Tap, keeping the Port forward away, which allowed an easy mark for Kerrish. Defensively, they just look solid.
Yep.
The only goal they given up was low percentage shot. The cut made good.
2 boys all play on. Danger.
McRae needs some good hands here.
Good tackle. They pile on. The umpire very early gives it. What you don't want to see then as a shock supporter is him not give an immediate decision. When he swarms, it's danger.
It's almost like maybe pass. I think McRae had that pulled in to tackle him too quickly for there to be prior opportunity. Sometimes you can tackle a little bit too quick. It's a split seconds. A court pass on. The Port Adelaide women there did all right to get the ball. He committed himself. If he hadn't got a hand on it, then Sacred Heart might have broken free in some space going forward.
See Heffernan there on the bench. He'll be keen to get back on, no doubt. It's getting to that point now. Feel a little cameo bob up for 1 or 2. 2 will be enough, but 1 goal could just change this game completely.
Well, we had 1 point in the second quarter, holding the ball. We've had 1 goal in the third quarter.
It'd be hard to say who's going to the scoring in the last quarter. You'd suggest neither team. There hasn't been a lot of it.
No.
Well, there's been goals at both ends, so there's only been 3 of them.
And that kick from Carpenter went a fair distance as well, so Breeze not an issue either, I don't think. Shepherd's picked it up. Here's an inside 50 for District. It's gone through the back of the pack. That was well done. Sean Tapp's playing a great game. He was the man to take the mark if there was a mark to be had, a spoil if that was the occasion. He was first to the football when it went around the back of the pack. A kick where there's a bit of black on white, but Noble manages to thump it on a little bit, buy some time for the cavalry to arrive.
Danger.
Here's a chance now for Shock. All right, they are away. It's Moore onto Lovelock, onto the run of Rankin. Rankin centres the ball, but miskicks it. We're back in the middle. Port District have it. Now they break away, TJ.
He gives it back to Noble. Noble's just arguably best on ground, I reckon.
I would say he's
Kicks
putting for that.
Yeah, hits a target, and just that alone is a very good start. And finds Elijah Lauby, very lightly built young fella. 55 out, looking for something. He goes down into the cricket nets and kicks it to his mate. Give it to the captain, Clayton Simons. He'll put it, I dare say, near the point post. Keep it locked in, make sure it doesn't. Makes it live. He kicks it right to the front of goal. Look for a play. Spoil. Quick kick by Port District out to Gould. Good. He'll go down and leading onto his Gav Shepherd. Might have enough shot. Umpire says nothing doing. Again at ground level. Who can be clean with the ground ball? It's Port District. They're out and Gould. He's got two out the back here. The goal scorer all by himself. They can get it to him. Oh, he's just been found out. He just probably went the wrong option then.
Seriously?
What?
Well, just for those who missed it, we might see the replay. And see, he picked up the ball and threatened to hurl it at the Shock supporters sitting 5 metres in front of him. Not and the umpire saying, look, chill.
He's got absolute umbrage. He's got issue with some of the things that have been said to him today. So
he's going to come up and talk to us after the game about our commentary. I'm sure he's taking issue with anyone and everything.
Umpire finds a free, and it's a Port District free. And Sean Tapp says, I don't believe that was a free. But so either way, it's going to go Shepherd.
Carpenty's goal, was that from a free or a mark?
It was a mark.
Mark, okay.
This will be, yeah.
All goals so far have been from a set shot.
I'll say that.
And we can see what he's going to do is aim for the Sri Lankan food van.
Thank God they're there, Phil.
Give away the target.
That's the point post, though, Phil. It'll be
let the Winds take it then.
Shepherd lining up. You're looking at a beautiful picture. Yeah, Phil, that is your goal. I want Cuddy and a Huddy. No, they've got a beautiful serve of curries down there. We'd have a look at it. Oh, well. Is what it is.
They're just cooking away, ready for the end of game trade, I reckon.
Yeah.
Well, with these points, what are we? 3 points the margin. So even a draw is not likely here. You'll be glad about that at this point.
When I watched the game 4-2 last week, came here and saw this deck, I thought 12-10, Phil. We're going to see a really good game of footy. And it is a good tight game of footy. No disrespect to the contest that's out there, but just low scoring.
The buddy with the head, you picked Port District, just to keep it simple. I'm glad we didn't go over unders.
Ned Brooks, great mark there. They're worth gold at this stage, contested marks.
All right, this is the kick that's led to issues. Oh, there's a bit of blue in this spot. If they don't fight each other for it, don't tell me they spoiled each other. Oh dear.
Yeah, Hank McAuliffe there, just asking what for.
That's got to be on the second one. See, there's no one else in front except a teammate, and just let him grab it, surely.
Just seeing the nice cars in the background. Not too many Datsun 180Bs in this area, 120Ys. It's all SUVs and nice vehicles. The ball spilled. Let's get back onto it. Oh, he might have been taken high. No, nothing doing. They rush in, look for the ball. It was Tom McDermott there, who we thought might have got one, but no, must have missed him. Lovely boy.
All up, taking it in 20 minutes. We've had 1 goal, 1 kick. Actually not scored this quarter. A score to the Southern Hove Brighton end since the first quarter.
When they kicked 2 goals, 1.
When they kicked 2 goals, 1, courtesy of 2 free kicks. It's inside that 50. Sacred Heart have had it down there for a fair bit in the last 5-7 minutes. And have not added to the scoreboard. It is a day for the defenders.
How's the matchup off? Sean Tapp on Sam Gray. He's a foot taller than him. Interesting.
Carlotto with the grab and kick. Port District with the number. Just a boot out in hope. This will be Sacred Heart ball here. Now, can they manufacture something here? The captain.
21-minute mark, Phil.
They opened it up a little bit. Get a lot of the players to lead out. Create some space for someone to go into. Now it's going to be a pack at the top of the square. It falls to the bottom of the pack. Players pile on top of the ball. And TJ, you're about to deliver some good news or bad news from around the grounds.
Yeah, no, all bad news. North are down, Eagles are down. Don't want to talk about it.
Okay, Central West.
That one's finished now, so I'll give you that one for sure. I'll give you the completed results.
Why not? But it just maybe not while the play's on, just hold for the break. Port District will clear. Oh, there was a bit of a high one. Yep, umpire saw that. If I can see it from this far away, I'm sure an umpire can see it. Go for it, TJ.
Crows over the Bays and you Dogs over Westies by 11 points. Shepherd just takes on the second grab there. Thought he might have dropped it. Did well. Again, it's going to be long down the line and they're set up for it behind the play. So will he bite off the 45 inside? You don't see it a lot from Port. It's more Sacred Heart's mantra. He does go long down the line. 1, 2, 3 Sacred Heart bodies to compete there. And they should be able to get it down and out of play. Good, strong play coming in there. New Schools. Son of Bugsy. Spills. As I said, I've liked Pritchard's quarter. It's been good. It's been very good.
Rankin's been... not Rankin. Yeah, Rankin. Cameron Rankin's...
Yes, I put in Pritchard. I meant to say Rankin. Takes what I'm thinking.
It's getting that way, which is kind of scary. Just thinking that one long winning streak has been broken on Brighton Road this afternoon. Glenelg going down to Adelaide. I think 11 games in a row they won or something ridiculous. Port District's 8-game winning streak is on the line here, and right now they trail by 3. What's your tip at how long the score's going to go? With 1 goal, 1 scored. Yeah, 20. Probably, they've been going about 25, mate, so we'll stick with that. Okay. And of course, the streak 14 in a row tonight, Port Power. Hopefully, they can keep that alive. Yeah.
For Port's sake and Port District's sake, there'll be a lot of Port Power players, fans in here, and some great. And well done. When he got Shmush, he just.
Well, this would be actually because they could come down here, watch this game. And then head into town here. Plenty of time to do that.
And watch the Crows game.
Oh, the Crows, sorry. So get home for the Power. When did Port play?
4:05.
Port of 4:05?
Yeah, in Melbourne against Carlton. So, and they're just saying slight down. So maybe a signal's come out that it is in the last minute. He's taken a mark in the back pocket and he's going to go long down the line. It's Gaffney, is it? And he will take it long. Comes in board a fair bit, though. Opens it up for either team at ground level. That's quick hands. Beautiful hands there by Ethan Moore. Ends up in the hands of Simons, goes down. If they can just squeeze one here from Sacred Heart, they'll be all guns blocked again at ground level. Jeez, that's what I'm talking about, Phil.
I love the attack. Rankin decided, I'm going to grab the ball, I'm going to attack the ball, then I'm going to attack the tackler.
Alex Deanoff. I bet you when we get home tomorrow, we have a look at Alex Deanoff's game. He's probably had 7 touches, but he's smothered, he's tackled, he's blocked, he's just, good
There's
game.
going to be a lot of players with more tackles than possessions today. That's 3/4 time. It's a 3-goal footy game. You'd swear the ground was a mud pit. It is anything but. What we do have, though, is a contest. Sacred Heart, goalless since quarter time, 2-3-15. Port District, goalless in the first half, 1-5-11. We'll take a break, trying to get some scores elsewhere, and come back with the final quarter where absolutely anything could happen. Thank you. You're watching the Adelaide Footy League.
Teaming up with the Adelaide Footy League. Tom Wren on the ground at your club for Thursday Night Live, strengthening communities through footy.
Well, folks, we're down here at the Banner Crew. Our friend, supporter and sponsor of Between the Posts has joined us. Welcome, Jason Goods.
Thanks, Tony. Nice to be with you.
What can the people out there expect to buy from the Banner Crew and get looked after?
Pretty much anything that you can put your club logo on or a message from the club, whether it be, like you mentioned, a marquee or a flag or an A-frame or a banner, a stubby holder, a pen, anything like that, anything that you can pop the club branding on. Everything's customisable. So basically we've got an in-house design department with 2 graphic designers that can work toward getting the message across that you're after.
We're down here at 318 to 326 St Vincent Street, Port Adelaide. Jason, thank you so much for your support.
Welcome back to the senior school oval here at Sacred Heart College. You can see the Port District huddle there. Everyone in good eye contact until someone at the back looks away.
You can see us in the van too.
Yeah, there's the van. There's us set up. There we go. Now we can wave.
Yeah. Sacred Heart School. Let me do the goal kickers, Phil. This should take a while.
Yeah, just let me
Brooks
have a
for
sleep for a while.
and Carpenny for Port. You're on, Phil.
Thank you.
Let me do the better players. You're on, Phil. No, that's disrespectful.
Not fair.
There's been a lot of but it's just been a grind. You can't describe it as any other way. It's 5 scoring shots to 6. It's 2 goals to 1. Conditions are near on perfect. It's just tough footy.
Waiting for someone to break, and nobody really has.
It could be me, Phil.
I mean, the context, well, it could be us. Probably we broke about the 15-minute mark of the second quarter, I think, and started talking all sorts of other stuff. Yeah, I mean, the context of this game, the winner of this has the inside running on the double chance. There's 4 teams that we think are in the premiership hunt at the moment, and Prince Alfred have a half game over Glenunga, over a full game over Sacred Heart. Sacred Heart probably need this game. They don't want to fall back of the peloton. But Port District have this and Prince Alfred coming up. They could fall back if they have 2 losses from that, because you reckon Prince Alfred aren't going to be gung-ho for their trip to Lugs Reserve next week after what Port District did to them at Park 9. But anyway, scores around some other grounds. Glenunga lead Old Nations by 11 goals, 89 to 23. Prince Alfred lead Broadview by 55, 102 to 47. Tea Tree Gully leads St Peter's. It was 7 points at half time. It's Tea Tree Gully by 27 points. Sound like it's a scoring end thing there. And Brighton Goodwood Saints, I've got not a clue.
So what was the third one you gave me there?
Tea Tree Gully leading St Peter's by 27, but I think based on the first 3 quarters...
What's the lowest score from any team there? 25? Is it?
It's Old Ignatians 23, and that would have them in front here.
What is going on? It's an absolute anomaly that this has happened. But, let's pay credit to why it's happened. The pressure from both teams has been intense. It's very hard to give best players on pressure, though, you know what I mean? Because there'd be some players out there that committed 15, 20, 25 strong, solid pressure acts. So we're probably going to get the best players a bit wrong today.
But it's man on man. Final quarter about to begin. Will we see the goal fest we're waiting for, or will both teams fight it out tooth and nail to the end? You're with Tommy Javor.
Ball goes up again. Sacred Heart first touch of the ball, but at ground level, quickly tackled, and that one's high. I'm just trying to break it open.
Well, this is one of the things that, when I say someone breaks, what does that mean? It means fatigue sets in, the tackles don't stick as much, or the tackles are not as executed as well, aka a range of high ones.
Trent Heffernan, good mark there by Sacred Heart in defence. They'll come back in ball 45. You can see Heffernan was the move they've made at 3/4 time. Get him in the middle. First, the boy got the first free. Coming for the ball. It's a 2-on-1. Working hard. They roll. Just enough pressure there by Port District. Gray. This way, that away. Oh, he has a sixth sense. He ends up in the hands of Lockie Gregg. He goes long down the line. And the ball will spill out. Will it? It will. It's courtesy of Benny Gould. Phil Hedden is a bit more open already. I know we're only 49 seconds in, but it's pinging around just a little bit more.
Just that little bit more. I mean, how many goals will win this? 5? 5 would win it, surely. 4 should.
4 will win it.
4 will win it, okay.
It's going to be hard for me to leave the commentary box to do the awards early as well. So.
Well, you never know. I mean, a team kicks 2 or 3 in a short space of time. And
I do need to get them ready though, Phil, so you're going to need to give me some paperwork, I think.
I do.
Yes, and I'm going to have to then go get the awards ready. Jeez, we're rattled. I told you it could be us that breaks first, Phil.
We started certain geographical parts, but anyway, that's another story.
One thing that is clear is the hit-outs have been wanted. I'd be surprised if the stats make a liar of me by Bradley the
I have
Horse
a backup,
Noble.
so you can do a Sacred Heart.
We might have to do, we're going to have to do votes for both, we're going to have to do awards for both teams, just in case. What we really need is a team to get 2 goals in front. Yeah. Anyway.
TJ just to breathe a little bit easier.
Yes.
But looks unlikely.
Gaffney again, quick kick 4, but ball spilled. I'm just going to get some awards ready, Phil.
Okay, so Kirish has it. Just the shopping bag in the black bag has everything. So, not much has happened since the sideline, as we're waiting for it to come back in. And from that, what do you know? It's another stoppage. Umpire dries the ball. Did the dry? No, just throw it up, I would have thought. Doing well to avoid the tackle was quick with Gaffney though. He decides, I've got the ball, I'm just going to boot it forward down to this Bermuda Triangle of a southern end that hasn't seen a goal in 2 quarters. It's with Shepherd. Shepherd and most teams, well, yeah, I mean, the defences have allowed the loose player to be wide. So now you port ball, but from a wide angle, almost like they don't even pick up a kick in it. It was 2 kicks to goal before, and it's still 2 kicks to goal after landing the pass. Now it's a stoppage inside District's 450, trailing by 3. Kick around the body by Hefner, and that's going to miss absolutely. It's all a case of what first. Not so sure. Looks like it will be. You didn't miss a lot. I think I had 4 stoppages and a kick. Okay. Maybe 2 kicks.
Fair to say, next goal is crucial, Phil, and that's why they're on paying me the big bucks.
That's it.
Ball in.
Insightful, in-depth analysis like that.
Yes, good. Like bubbling around. It is still bubbling around, but it comes the way of shock. They don't want to cough it up here. Strong tackle laid there by Trent Heffernan on Oscar Lovelock, and we're going to have another ball up.
I've got a weird vibe here, TJ, that the umpires are going to decide this one.
Oh dear.
I just get the feeling it's going to be that high tackle inside forward 50 that gives away the free kick.
Somebody as well.
Or a contentious holding the ball, subjective one, given or not given.
I'll say this in near perfect conditions. It's not a
on a surface that would do Adelaide Oval.
Or turnover here if Port District can make hay while the sun shines. Quick kick to the football, but again, Sacred Heart. Hugo, but amused by, and they're off though this time down the line. Good play again. Cameron Rankin just starting to make it himself as a potential person to be an award winner.
He's going to do with a bit of sun now, because it is blue sky, and the sun is setting to the, down the western wing as it always does.
That's what it does. Sits in the west, and I'm at my best. It's half smother there, allows the ball to bobble into the middle of the ground. Hasn't been in the centre a ton, has it, Phil? It's always been just
and
off
it's
to
a
the side,
beautiful centre. I understand. Last week you would have avoided the centre of Goodwood Oval like.
We haven't seen a team bust through the middle at all today, have we?
Well, you haven't seen a team. Run and carry has not been the nature of this game. There's been no space to run.
Here we go, man in front. That's a huge play. Their first shot on goal that isn't a free kick, Alex Colotto, and that might be our play of the day.
Well, Sacred Heart are waiting for one. And look, anytime a big man takes a low mark, that's impressive. If he goes back and dobs it, nominee for Sacred Heart's play of the day.
Yep.
But he's got to dob it first.
Yep, he sure does.
He's back in the cricket pitch. He's got to He's going for it. He's got the run up.
45 metres out, and he's an experienced 30-year-old man with, as Tony would say, his fast twitch muscle fibres ready to rock. The man on the mark standing backwards, unusual. High up and under, goal umpire does a little bit of work but likes it all. And all umpire Jason Collard, that's his second, and Sacred Heart's third. They lead 3-3-21, Port District 1-5-10. Port will need to double their score and then some if they want to get out of this one.
Well, Coach Alex Carlotto leads Port District by 1 point. He's 2 straight 12, Port District 1-5-11, but that is a massive goal. In an extraordinarily low-scoring contest, given the conditions, it's on the Sportal scoreboard. It's 3-3-25-11. Carlotto with goal number 2 joins Ned Brooks and Kenneth Carpeny as the sole goal scorers. And the person with the easiest gig this afternoon has no doubt been the scoreboard operator here at the senior school.
But it's electric, mate. Ball ground of Port District
someone's still got to operate it.
They need to bite back. Nichols gets the kick, but it's partially smothered again. Just a little hand in, changes everything, changes the course of the play. Down the middle, they'll go again. They'll look for Carlotto. They go wide. No, it's that man, number 17, Sam Lauby. They call him Slammer. And if he can slam one through here, Phil, I think it's going to be very, very tough for Port, who just haven't been able to find avenues towards goals.
Well, Lauby's had some experience, 15 games Uni Blacks. He's from Goodwood Saints, where he was last year, played 18 games at League, 22 goals, 14 from 9 games, 5 last week. Now, I think last week Sacred Heart kicked something like 24 goals at Ignatians.
They won't kick 24 today.
They won't kick 24, actually, sorry, it was... They were against Broadview. They kicked about 15. But
look, this for a 16-point lead. Sorry.
Huge kick.
No.
He's going to be a bit short. Sacred Heart have it, though. Can they get the snap? A quick 1-2 hand pass. That's a check side attempt. And not a bad one from Ned Brooks. Not sure if I can even say handed behind, but takes the margin to 11. 3-4-22, 1-5-11. It is double the Port District score. Cooper Gaffney understands the situation. 8 minutes into the final quarter. He takes off. His kick. Sacred Heart are there. Was he paid the much? Sean Tapp's been really good.
Best defender on the ground for mine today.
And he will repel. Sensok back inside their forward 50. A couple of flies. I'm not sure you can claim it was off a couple of teammates.
There's no team mark, but the three of them went up, and in the end it was only, once they got the knee in the back of the Port District player, it might have been Ferns, all three of them had control of the ball, but just Brooks and Carlotto, leave it for the coach.
Couple of sports that'd be a reception, not Aussie rules footy.
Yes, and Phil, you talked about it, I think they might have just broken them. It looks like the forward line's opened up for them. They're winning the one-on-ones. They're well set up behind the ball. I think this might be Sacred Heart's day.
Well, McRae, he'll get busy and you'll know they're on their way. And it's look, they're at the right end of the scoreboard, the ball's at the right end of the ground. We've got such a long way to go in this game, though. It's got at least 15, 16 minutes of game time. And even then, I'll probably cut it short a couple of minutes. So it's not over just yet. But it's all shock at the moment. And this is the first time, TJ, that we've seen a team with some momentum that's getting consecutive scores on the board.
Having said all that, it is only 2 goals the difference. Port kick one and the old Schwinkter will tighten a little bit and anything can happen. Bobbling around and just getting his hands in. Benny Gould does enough, or he's taken high there. Yeah. Then he re-tackled and said, "No, I didn't, sir. No, I didn't." And just pulling him off there is number 21. Bit of assistance there from Sam McKay.
Second tackle does not negate the first.
Danielson, Passanidi, Miyagi Dolkarati. He'll go across, and they're probably going to try and do this, and they're probably now going to go corridor, straight down the gullet. This way, that away. Dinoff. I've liked his game as well. Give a kid a rap. What do they do? And that might be a very costly turnover.
Nobby wants it back in a hurry. Gets his wish.
Oh, Carlotto!
Now that's a grab. That's a grab.
Might have touched the ground, but who cares? The umpire's paid it. It was a beautiful flight. No, it was Ned Brooks, actually.
Now we've got a decision to make. Was that better than Carlotto's grab and goal?
The thing with Carlotto's is Carlotto's was the one that broke the game open for me.
Correct.
Anything happens
Let's
after.
have a look at this. I think I might go to the person who actually took the mark.
Yeah, it did hit the ground, didn't it?
It hit the ground.
Well, it's great eyes by me. Mine, it was right in front of me. Right in front of me. Either way, a score here will be handy. A goal, obviously, the preferred option. But with 12-point lead, let's make it. Oh, umpire Jason Collard doesn't work. I think he likes it. The boy from Salisbury North says all clear. That's his second, and their fourth. We have had 3 goal kickers today. Just like
3 goal kickers.
last week, I had 4 goal kickers. This week, 3. You wouldn't read about it.
Yeah.
It is, yeah.
Well, that takes it on the Sportal scoreboard. Shocker 4-5-29. Port District 1-5-11. Game high, 18-point lead. Port District are going to need 4 scores to win. It's looking, unless Sacred Heart take their foot off the pedal, they're looking the goods to get this win. Sweep the series with Port District, the defending premiers no less, and sit in the top 3 tonight at Port District's expense.
Now, like every post to win a Port District. This could there be a first effective real set of clearance? Gray this way, that away. Shows the candy. Goes long down to Buddy. He's had a very quiet day, it's fair to say. Quiet by Marcel Marceau standards even. He has not... I don't think he's...
Well, he's there making a tackle right now, which
not
most players have made a contribution, and he's not the only forward that's...
As a stay-at-home forward in a team that kicked 1 goal, you can be forgiven, I guess. But he certainly hasn't had more than 3 or 4 touches, I wouldn't have thought. Certainly not effective.
He's got a touch there, and what do you know, he's sat upon straight away, but it's not his game to go and get the tough ball and kick a goal from it. It's his job to the lead player, marker and converter when the ball's further upfield coming in. Yeah, they just... looks a little bit more pep in the Sacred Heart step. They're jumping a little bit higher. They're getting to the ball a little bit better. As that's Darcy Gloris who's got it in his hands in the back pocket. Here's kick to a pack of players. I mean, it's almost with this margin. There's a high tackle, so yeah, you can see the fatigue is starting to set.
Of course, Darcy Glois at Glenelg last year, 400-metre sprint at the Sanford Grand Final, led it at the 200-metre mark, and then someone threw a fridge on his back. He did not win it. Gee, he took off though.
He made his debut here last year. He's a former Plimpton Bulldog lad.
He is, yep.
And one of your Glenelg under-18s. Is he in?
Under-13s, yeah.
Was in your footy factory at the time?
He certainly was, mate. Full credit. As they shake and bake this time, they roll. Can they get a quality entry? They just haven't been able to get any entries from straight in front of goal. It's all been in pockets, but they should get it coming back in. They should. They do. They will. It's the big fella, I think. Sam McKay, is it? Sam McKay goes long, goes to the open side, which isn't that open, but they take a mark. And this is his first effective, certainly as a contested mark. I think it might be his first mark for the day. Yep. James Batty could just breathe a little bit of life in this. If he kicks this, there's 2 goal down.
Well, he bagged him intensely.
So I didn't bag him intensely. I did point out that he's come off 7 last week. He hasn't kicked 7 today. He hasn't had 7 touches today.
We haven't had 7 goals in total.
As I said, no fault of his own. I mean, even Grenville had quiet days. So, we'll line up from 30 metres out, 35 on a slight angle. Looks good off the boot, but might have pushed it across a fair way. No score, and that summarises his day for mine. But at ground level, quick snap, straight across the face. And sometimes you've just got to go, you know what? It's not my day, and that's Port District's story today.
We don't have great depth perception here of down that end of the ground, but they looked like 2 shots, one the snap, one the set shot from Batty that fell the ball, and they both went across the face.
Well, there's a force field in front of the old goals.
Well, yeah, something, because in a day when opportunities to do that have been rare, I mean, 1 goal 5 says it all. 5 goals 1, we'd have a drawn footy game at the moment, or actually to put in front. The clearing kick, not even sure who kicked that, where there's another kick across the face. I think that was a shot kick.
I think this game has decided Sacred Heart have got full control. I've got my ground player of the day. I've got our best team player, Archie Thong, the TJ Award. Can I just go complete nepotistic and give it to one of the boys from the Footy Factory who's been good?
Well, as long as they've been good.
Yeah.
I mean,
Darcy Glois has been
the brief on your Archie's footwear prize was whoever you think you want to give a prize to. So you've got pretty open range on that.
Yeah, it does really leave it open. McRae obviously has been an outstanding, might even get in the votes, but he's He's a beer 20. You like to reward the kids. And as an 18, 19-year-old, I think he's been great for 4 quarters. So
Yeah. How is he on the mic?
Don't know. We'll find out.
Find out. Yeah, I don't disagree with any of those.
No. I reckon I've got the best defender. We've got the most ball on the day.
And it definitely won when we were screaming, begging, demanding everything we could think of for a goal. Yeah, fair point. He's in ruck now, Colorado. Takes it out of the contest, kicks it up for Simons. Went up and took it.
You know
and then he comes down like he's hobbling again. I'm not sure if that's a permanent thing or he's playing with a bit of an injury. But
born with a limp, maybe. You know what they call him?
What do they call him, TJ?
Sot.
Sot.
Son of Tony.
Son of Tony. Oh, there's worse things to be called, I guess, once you get the explanation.
Yeah.
So this, if successful, would do it. 18-point lead.
Do you reckon we could blow the siren?
No.
30 metres out. I haven't got a very good look at the goal, but it's umpire Jason Collard. I ask you, Jason, how big is it? He says this big. It's a beautiful 6-pointer for Clayton Simons, the captain, and a nice way for a captain to finish off what's been a tough game.
I think you summarised that beautifully. Yep, Simons, of course, spent some time at the Bays, also down the road at the Brighton Bombers. As you would expect with a Sacred Hearts team, that they do have a fair bit of Glenelg influence.
I reckon I've got him covered in an eating contest. I'll give you that hot tip. He's not heavy.
He's not your brother.
That's very good, Phil. Camera just on Sacred Heart, boys. Clearly they don't know it because they normally offer plenty.
There's the lads there. All right. 24 points. It was game. So shocked by 9 points at quarter time, shocked by 10, and by just 3 points at the last change. Port District have added a behind. Shock have added 3 goals. TJ's getting ready for his grand departure. And Gould goes forward.
All good.
Port District just the 1 goal for the contest. We thought 2 goals 15 was low. I don't think we've had a team kick 1 goal in a game, and that's what they're looking for at the moment. Next week, well, we'll be at Largs Reserve for Port District on their home deck against the league leaders, Prince Alfred Old Collegians. I say league leaders because the Redmen were leading Broadview pretty easily at 3/4 time. Sacred Heart again going forward. 1-on-1 contest, too good. And I reckon that's Brooks again.
Big Brooks, they call him.
Well, you can see that the defender there, Liam Ferns, he's built for physicality, not for height. And a high ball coming in was always going to suit Brooks. He's taken his second clunk, according to the umpires, for the quarter, and has a chance for his 3rd goal to lead all comers. In fact, here's something you don't see every day. As he's dobbed his 3rd, there are 2 players on Sacred Hearts that individually have outscored Port District. You might see it occasionally. Tony Lockett did that to the Crows, I reckon, one game back in the Crows' early days. You just don't see it that often. With 1 player, we got 2. That'll be what happens when you kick a goal in a game of footy. So TJ is all set. He's got the tape out. He's got the prizes out. He knows the names. He's thought of some really great questions. So whatever you do...
Oh, it's the questions, isn't it?
The question... Yes. You won't miss one thing on that checklist. So whatever you do, stick around post-match for the highlight of the day, TJ's interviews. We'll try and get you some final scores. Although they probably won't be final because I think we're going to be the first finish due to the low-scoring nature of this contest. Right. And we'll try and get in the club room for a song as well.
Just got a
hopefully
quick message from our boss, John Douglas. And
hey, John!
Yeah, we'll just wait for those bubbles around. It's all Sacred Heart in this late stage. They've broken them, they've worked it down, and all goes out of play. Please remember tomorrow that the stats for Brighton Bombers match aren't 100% because the rain came in and drenched the stream.
Okay. Well, that
so
explains
the stream
that.
did not go up, and the game didn't begin filming till 10 minutes in. Okay, so
there is a stream somewhere.
Yep,
I was going to find it to give you a score.
We've had some issues getting it that done.
Okay, well, I knew that there was a bit of balcony space was at a premium at Brighton. That Brighton Red this afternoon.
Yep, so I'm going to be doing my stuff right down there, aren't I?
Yeah.
And it shouldn't be too hard to get them coming through.
That's correct.
As Hugo just said, for some reason, much the way that Sacred Heart have taken care of Port District this quarter, Phil Hurden.
It's a different game of footy now, isn't it? It's a very different game of footy. 6-5 to 1-5, a 30-point margin. But it was 3 points at three-quarter time. Kick down the wing. The prizes have been won, so it's really all academic now. Ned Brooks is having himself a great last quarter.
Right,
this is Alex Carlotto.
And we're worried about the lack of Kakuro, and it hasn't been too much of a problem at all.
We saw the rain came in and we thought, gee, that's going to benefit Port District, but the rain only lasted 20 minutes. So what we've seen in this last quarter up is the height advantage that they bring to this contest really come to fruition. They've managed to get some high balls in, to not pack situations, but more one-on-one situations, and above all, Brooks and Carlotto have converted.
35 metres out, top straight in front. Shouldn't cause him too much problem at all. And it does not. It's his third. It's their seventh. And I'll ask you this question, my friend Phil Hurden. When was the last time Port District were held to one goal in a game?
Good question. I do not have the answer because it surely hasn't been this season. And on last season when they won the premiership, probably had to way through their scorebooks. And I can't do that whilst calling a game of footy about to disappear. But making it up, 21 minutes gone of what should be... Well, Sacred Heart have kicked 4 goals, so if the previous quarters were just 1 point or 1 goal, went 25 minutes, this could go 30 plus.
Yes, Phil, I'm going to bid farewell. I'll leave it with you as the ball goes up for the final time. I'm going to head down and get some awards organised for the many awards, thanks to our great sponsors. For Tommy Javor, Phil Hurden, I'll leave you with a great man and look forward to rewarding 4 Sacred Heart players.
Thanks for that, TJ. As well, Sting's gone out of it. It was a real powder keg. If you've joined us late, we had a lot of interaction between players, and you notice how the interaction stopped at least one way, DJ, as he heads off. That's Gould's kick in for Shepherd. He can't take the mark. His snap goes out of bounds on the full, and in that 15 seconds, that pretty much summarises how it's gone for Port District today. They've got 6-7 days to recover, regroup, and face the might of Prince Alfred next week, a game that becomes must-win to keep pace with Glenunga Shock and the said Prince Alfred, having dropped a game today with both Glenunga and Prince Alfred looking likely winners by good margins in their encounters. Some wonderful hands. That's the sort of play we did not see for 3 quarters. The kick into space. Ball sit's going to be huge. Quick pick up, and this is Simons. Gets around Pilkington. Snaps around the body. And if TJ hadn't already left with the prize, that could be a nomination for Player of the Day. But I reckon Carlotto's, when the game on the line's hard to beat, that's just a party time, junk time shot. Joel Cross, the excellent work to win his one-on-one contest. Simons and Pilkington, and you saw the captain with this eventually create enough space to slot truly. The other thing about Sacred Heart in this quarter is they just haven't missed. They kicked 8 goals, 5, and I reckon they're on... they've kicked at least 5 goals, maybe 5 goals, 1 this quarter, which has been sensational. Port District, they've kicked just the 1 behind. Not far to go now. 25 minutes gone. I'll try and give you some idea of what this result will mean for the ladder in terms of percentages as it stands right now. If they do not score, Sacred Heart's percentage goes to 64.9 and Port District drops to 58.5. So they will be tied at 9-3, but Sacred Heart with a 5.5% advantage. Of course, T. Trigali, we're leading St. Peter's at the last check. We'll get you some final scores where I can. And John Douglas, if you are watching, if you can get me a score from Brighton Road, that would be very, very handy between Brighton and Goodwood, because I'm having no luck. The kick only as far as Hilliard. His kick is partially smothered. Ends up now with Carpenty, who kicked he is the goal scorer. He is Port District's goal tally for this afternoon. Looking for Bailey. No hope there, double teamed. Seb Kerish has been outstanding today. Will he get a prize? We'll find out. Jalorby takes it in front of Sam Gray. He heads out to the beach side of the senior school oval where these kids, a lot of these players would have had first 18 or even lunchtime escapades. Sits with Beau McRae at the moment. He centres the ball. Back with Kerish, who started all this. Coming in as the captain in Clayton Summons. He took a mark, kicked a nice goal. Now Bradley Noble, who's been really good around the ground. Yeah, I know. TJ's excited that Noble's got it. Can't tell you why yet, but he'll be even more excited if he kicks the goal, which, well, he's a long way out. Mouth Guardian. Ruckman often get a bad rap, but we've seen Carlotto absolutely sensational this afternoon. This will be kick from outside 50 to the clubhouse end to the ladies here for Ladies' Day. That's a massive kick. Clapped off the boot. The Sacred Heart kicking from their big markers in this final quarter has been sublime. A lot of players get around Brad Noble. That is his second goal this season. Man from Eyre Peninsula, played for Cleve and Port since the Jejuna Blues. Not sure how he ended up at the Bay, but he did. And yeah, it's a shellacking now. I've got it at 9 goals, 5. I've got it at 9 goals, 5. Okay. We're back in the middle. Yeah, 9-5-59 to 1-5-11. Batty, the work around the snap. And on the siren. I'm not sure that's a score. It's not. That is your ball game. In the end, one-way traffic. The final score, it's 48 points. That would have been unbelievable at three-quarter time. Sacred Heart kicking, they're trailed by 3, so they kicked 7 goals, 3 to 1 behind. We talked about one team breaking, and eventually it was Sacred Heart that broke it open. So the goal scorers, and I reckon I'm missing one. Noble kicked the last one. Clayton Simons kicked a goal. Ned Brooks had 3. Carlotto kicked 3. And I've missed one that's going to annoy me for a fair while. Apologies to that player. For Port District, Kenneth Carpenty kicked one in the third quarter. Other than that, that's the goal scorers covered. A little bit of a chat between umpires and match officials. Scores are deemed correct. Sacred Heart will take the 2 points. Thomas Raw will give you the prize winners shortly. I want to thank our supporters who provide those. The player of the day goes to Nehemiah Mouthgate. The player of the day is the New Balance voucher, along with the iconic Dartfish beanie. Player of the day, Nehemiah Mouthgate, goes to Team Money Bar and Kitchen and TJ's special award that could be for absolutely anything. That, of course, is the pair of Archie sandals. Just having a look at some other games, bringing those out whilst we're waiting for TJ to round up some interviews. 22 minutes gone at Pertaringa Oval. Tea Tree Gully 14-10-94. Spock 11-9-75. That kick is just missed, but the margin is 20 points in favour of Tea Tree Gully, who actually won 2 of the last against the bottom in comp and have given themselves a decent. They're still leading the pack. Right in Goodwood. Sorry folks, nothing doing on that scale at the moment from that encounter. Just checking another source quickly. No, nothing doing there either. The other game that I have got here, well, there's two others, so they were one-sided. We have Old Ignatians and Glenunga. This is at Karen Rolton Oval. Fortunately for Old Ignatians, a couple of times they do tend to drop off in the final quarter. That's the case here. Glenunga are currently leading at the 20-minute mark, 134 to 30. So that's a 104-point lead. PJ's got his award winners, so they'll be coming over in a few seconds. Quick flick back to see the other game that I do have ability to get scores from is Prince Alfred and Broadview. Just bringing that game up now. Fine, in the end, Prince Alfred doing it on the bit, winning by 64 points. So we do have two results. Prince Alfred by 64, Sacred Heart of Collegians by 48. Old Ignatians, Teacher Gully have enough of a lead to say they'll beat St Peter's, 20 points there, and Brighton and Goodwood, we're not quite sure. Okay, not too far away, Tommy Javor has rounded up his guests. Just get them as the shadows start to come over the senior school over here. Let's go down to Tommy Javor.
TJ here on location at Sacred Heart with our first award winner. Of course, he wins the Archie songs. Well done, Darcy Glorious. There, put it there. Be remiss of me not to mention our time together at Glenelg. You're a wonderful young man, but gee, you've come a long way. What's it like playing with these lads?
Just like young career that they all just, love the club, love footy and love having fun. So it's been really easy to, I guess, just come into this group and play good footy, and we're going well at Shock, so I'm loving it.
One more. What's it like having these reptiles cheering you on?
Yeah. Sometimes it's maybe to our detriment, but they're a great bunch of lads as well. So we're big on like one club as well. So just getting around everyone. So yeah, it's really good.
And the secret, hey, congratulations, mate. Well done. Just hang around for a photo if you can. And I'm just going to throw back to Phil in the central.
Position here in the warm commentary box. Whilst he rounds up his other prize winners, what's happening in the Adelaide Footy League next week? Some great games there. It's going to be Sacred Heart hosting Old Ignatians right here, Broadview and Brighton, Goodwood Saints and Tea Tree Gully. So those four teams in the mix for a final berth are there, St Peter's and Glenunga. And our match of the round will be at Largs Reserve, where Prince are hosting Prince Alfred are coming up to play Port District. We've got a runaway with our prizes. Let's go to host with the most, Tommy Javor.
And here I am back with three award winners. No, I haven't shrunk. They're all bloody huge. All right, let's start with the man, former Glenelg superstar, Sean Tapp. Just controlled the back line. A great game.
Yeah, it was. The team sort of allowed me to just pass some small forwards, and the ball got kicked pretty high, so I could once and take some grabs, so I felt nice.
Going beautifully. You've won, of course, the Moseley Bar and Kitchen voucher as the best team player. I don't think defenders are awarded enough. Let me just jump in here, mate. Wrong way. I'm spinning. Working live here. The coach, I've never actually met the coach, but Alex, your desperate mark and goal there set your team alight and got you going the last quarter. Player of the day.
Yeah, really good last quarter from us. Obviously was not a super high scoring affair, probably not a great one to watch at times, but it was definitely a good contest, and yeah, to kick a few late was really good.
Can you explain perfect conditions today? 2 goals to 1 at 3/4 time. Was it just pressure and intensity out there, or?
Yeah, it rained a little bit, so we'll err on that, and a bit of the shock Dr. Wind came in, but I think, yeah, just super contested, and you've got to look at Port District's midfield line with all their ex-Samford and AFL players, so that's their one wood, so yeah, it was probably just contested and took a while to break open, I think.
No worries, man. Over to best on ground. They told me they call you the horse. I think the Seagrave boys might have stitched you out. I don't know. But I hear everyone calling you Nobby. What a game, mate. You're outstanding.
Yeah, it's pretty slow start for the boys, but the last quarter was ripper, and we couldn't ask for a much better win in the end. So that was good.
Best on mark and kick. What was going through your head as you lined up?
It's ladies' day today, so I didn't know if I should point to them afterwards or not. But I'll go up and have a beer with them later on. But yeah, it's good fun. Good fun.
Make sure you let them know your best on ground. Exciting now, you boys. I think we'll move into third position. Big year ahead for the boys, no doubt.
Yeah, pretty few tough games coming up in the last few rounds, but we're pretty confident and yeah, should be good fun.
Alright, this is TJ with our award winners. Thanks for joining us today. I'm going to head back up to Phil in the broadcast area.
Thanks for that, Tommy Javor. Congratulations to the Royals. You can see the score there, the Sporter scoreboard. Sacred Heart 9-5-59, Port District 1-5-11. It was two goals to 1 goal 4 at 3. I was just trying to get that score right. 2 goals 4 to 1 goal 4, or something of that nature. But in the end, Sacred Heart absolutely brilliant in the final quarter. Kicked 7, lost count in the end, 7 goals to 0 in a game that had 3 goals kicked to 3-quarter time. It was almost 2 separate games of football in the one. Elsewhere, as Tommy Javor joins me, we do have a couple of Prince Alfred have officially defeated Broadview by 55 points. Old Ignatians were trailing by 104 points to Glenunga late there. Trigali St Peter's was a 20-point affair. I'll go and quickly check that one again. Goodwood and Brighton again. Result unknown. TJ?
Yeah, I think we're going to have a look at some highlights here, Phil, and that was like standing at the freaking Giants there. As we just sit there on Jolly Cross, I shouldn't be laughing. I don't know that. Here's the first goal of the game, mate. It's of course Alex Colotto, first of his 3 I think he finished with, so absolutely crucial.
Yep, continue. Teacher Gully have beaten St Peter's by 27 points. Big win for the Gullies at Pertaringa.
And I'll put my hand up on this one. I absolutely got this one wrong as we just have a look at Noble. Not sure you'd call someone having a shot from 15 metres out of hole up, but it certainly was because it was one of only 2 goals in the first half. So yes, and they're all crucial in the end, but in the end it was interesting to just see them blow them away in the last quarter with their best footy on cue.
Here's the player of the day, I reckon.
Yeah, Bradley Noble to Sam Gray. It was
second quarter,
a
bit early.
Yeah, and yeah, Noble was outstanding, and I think he might get other boys, but for me he was absolutely clearly best on the ground. And a few of the locals, look at Colotto and Ruck there, beautiful tap. And this is the first one. Oh, great smother there. That was Dean Hoff from Port District, and
I think I'm really glad that one made the highlights, because whilst there was no score, that was the nature of the game.
Yes, here's Kenny Carpentry. This will be Port's only goal of the day. Umpire Collard just looking for more shout-outs. Nice kick there on the left. Just a bit of fade there as it went through the goals, and that might be the end of our highlights, is it? No, we've got one more. Of course, is the coach himself, Alex Colotto.
Now look at the score then, 2-3 to 1-5.
That was your player of the day. That was the crucial, and that was the one that broke the camel's back, wasn't it? Yeah. I mean, Darcy Glorious, look at the celebration. That'll win you a pair-a-thon. And again, another big mark there. That one might have touched the ground. By might, I mean did. But claim it, act like you're meant to be there, and you never know what might happen.
After that goal from Colotto, Sacred Heart kicked 7 goals too, and Port District did not score.
Did they finish on 10 goals?
No, because it was 2 goals when Colotto kicked it.
Yeah, sorry.
A goal ahead.
Yeah. So what was the final score? 9-5?
I've got 9-5 to 1-5.
It's a good percentage booster as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
And even Simon's getting in on the act later. We had the 2 multiple goal scorers. He said, well, I want to be the 4th goal scorer today. On top of that.
Yeah, lovely goal. And there's no doubt about it, when you condense this game into 3 or 4 minutes,
it's a goal fest.
Let's see, the Colotto and Noble. That was Noble, was it?
Yeah, that was third.
Noble, so that was Brooks.
Oh, Brooks, yep.
And here's the...
Look at Colotto being this good a shot at goal at South Adelaide. Maybe it's something he's worked on. Maybe he just never got the opportunity because he was always in ruck.
To be fair, none of those. This way, that away, Simons.
Simon second. That's where I missed my goal. There we go. I got my 9 now.
Excellent. There's one more highlight to come up, and it is, of course, our best on ground Dartfish beanie and New Balance voucher winner, Bradley Noble, Nobby or Horse.
I mean, you say they're simple shots. They're simple because they're straight in front, but they're still long distance, so you don't have the hugest room for error.
Here's the song. Congratulations to Sacred Heart. They sung with gusto, they sung with flair, and
as they should have.
Like their last quarter as well, Phil.
I mean, that was a tough day at the office. They beat the defending premiers, swept the series, absolutely dominated them in the final quarter. And yes, the gusto after that, it's because no, they deserve to do that.
9-5 literally of winter, right in the middle of July, so they're coming on the other side.
It was 2-3 to 1-5 when Colade kicked, so I just wanted to find that because that's everything else. Alrighty, games next week. Sacred Heart and Old Ignatians. A chance for Sacred Heart to entrench themselves in the top 3, build a bit of percentage. You would think Broadwind, Brighton, who knows? Goodwood Saints and Tea Tree Gully, who knows?
Tea Tree Gully.
Oh, Goodwood, they played pretty well at home. Their last 2 at home, they've done all right. St Peter's and Glenunga, could be Glenunga putting the dagger into St Peter's chances of being in Div 1 next year. And our game, Port District and Prince Alfred. District will need to respond, which they're a proud premiership club. They will, against the Redmen that you have as the premiership favourites. And we'll be there to bring you all the action and hopefully a few more goals.
Yeah, let's hope so. I'm looking forward to a 12 plays 10 game. It'll be great.
Any final thoughts for this afternoon?
Congratulations to Sacred Heart and well done on their Ladies' Day. My opening comment was they're in the conversation. Will they be removed from the dialogue at the end of the day? Absolutely not. This team is for real, and I could see them beating anyone on their day.
Thanks to our sponsors, the Banner Crew, 9 News, Buddy Bet, Sport or Roll the Dice Racing, Archie Sandals, Programs to Fit, Dartfish Sports Interactive, and of course the Moseley Bar and Kitchen.
One more thing, Phil. The guys that do probably all the hard work, Hugo, James and Liam on the roof, and the young fella, Oscar, thank you so much for being part of the team. You make our jobs very easy. Thanks to TJ. Also, thanks. Oh, did you already do that?
No, it's on my list to do next. After TJ and your final words. But thank you. Also, John Douglas and the Filming Footy family as well. Today at the senior school level at Sacred Heart, in the C's, Sacred Heart by 22, in the B's, Port District by a fair bit, and in the A's, you see it right there, Shocked by 48. I will head and say thanks for tuning in. Thanks TJ as well. Great to have you back. We'll be back next week, Lark Reserve, Port District hoping Prince Alfred Old Collegians. Until then, thanks to Filming Footy, you've been watching the Adelaide Footy League. Good night.
Teaming up with the Adelaide Footy League. Tom Wren on the ground at your club for Thursday Night Live, strengthening communities through footy.
Well, folks, we're down here at the Banner Crew. Our friend, supporter and sponsor of Between the Posts has joined us. Welcome, Jason Goods.
Thanks, Tony. Nice to be with you.
What can the people out there expect to buy from the Banner Crew and get looked after?
Pretty much anything that you can put your club logo on or a message from the club, whether it be a, like you mentioned, a marquee or a flag or an A-frame or a banner, a stubby holder, a pen, anything like that, anything that you can pop the club branding on. Everything's customisable, so basically we've got an in-house design department with 2 graphic designers that can work toward getting the message across that you're after.
We're down here at 318 to 326 St Vincent Street, Port Adelaide. Jason, thank you so much for your support.